Respectfully, these people are not on my level. I don't know who y'all want me to be on this show. These people don't seem like they trying to be anything but superstars on the internet with the 4 followers they got. These do not seem like quality people. I don't want to be bothered. My casting director told me, Janelle, please do not do that. Please just go to the mixer. And if you don't like anybody at the mixer, then just tell them, y'all are so dramatic. Just tell them that you got to go come up with an excuse to leave the show. Okay?
But did you?
Before the mixer, we had a meeting with producers, one-on-one, with all of the producers on this show and the staff.
Now, first and foremost, guys, welcome to Little Black Bird 91. If you're new to the channel, we're here to break down content in the most sophisticated way. Sometimes we get a bit petty, but we always want to break it down in a way that will bring the most educational purpose to you. Talking about obviously Ready to Love, and specifically talking about Janelle, because she and Kat had a beef just a few days or a day ago, and I've got the screenshots as well. I'll put them on the screen in a second or two as well. I think the most crazy thing about all of this is the fact that Ready to Love has reached VH1 level now. As for me, my destiny is tied to the show. So let me continue to review the show because y'all going to keep me making my money, okay? But the reality of the situation is we're now reaching VH1 levels, right? Because OWN has obviously, in conjunction with Discovery, I know there's been change of management and stuff like that. This show is going some particular way. So we are getting we're getting more and more ways of these castmates who are going to push the VH1, the Zeus, the BET kind of show, right? We're pushing towards that direction where we're just looking for beef and looking for manufactured issues. A lot of it's not been manufactured. Do you know what I mean? And so because it sells, right? Let's just keep it a buck. But in this particular, Bravo, sorry, thank you. Bravo is a better word to say. But I think in this instance, what I'm starting to see is, I think if we were to keep it real and keep it to a true T, I said this already about watching Janelle as well because of what she has given us in the past few episodes, right? But she started off this live really strongly, right? And I heard obviously some stories about she was meant to pull up at Kat's house, her and Kat having beef because, Kat feels some type of way about Janelle's behavior towards her and some of the other ladies, and Janelle feels a way as well because she feels like someone's challenging her, etc., right? I want to try and be as neutral as possible and try and give a balanced review on this, right? But let's just go a few seconds before I do any intros as to what she just said, right? Because this is kind of mad. Listen to this.
You are playing with me.
Not Chloe. And by the way, shout out to Chloe as well for getting up the live because, baby, I missed it last night. I was out and about. But shout out to Chloe Johnson. If you don't follow her already, go follow her YouTube, Chloe Johnson. Does some great content around Ready to Love and some other TV shows as well. But shout out to her for bringing this onto the screen so we can review it.
When I started this process, I was pretty much aware of who maybe 80%, I would say 70% of who the cast was, because one of the producers mistakenly followed a lot of the cast members.
I mean, that usually happens. We end up finding out as well ourselves, to be honest, as well. So she's not the only one. But anyway, let me continue. Let me stop this thing, right? Because I want to get this into today.
Okay, followed a lot of the cast members. And so in looking through these people's pages, I immediately called my cast director and said, this show is not for me. This show is not for me. Respectfully.
Let's pause it first and foremost. She has a casting director. So are you really here for love? I'm not saying that she couldn't do it. I'm not saying she can't kill two birds with one stone. I'm asking the question, was she really here for love? Right? Because how many people have a casting director? So were you really here for love? Right? The people that I know who have casting directors are actors, are musicians, are entertainers. They have casting directors. So the key question I'm asking is, were you there originally for love? Because the show is only wrong not because of the people, not just because of the people, but because you know that if you're coming for love, they're not going to be here for love. This ain't the show, right? Okay, so just putting that on the table straight away.
These people are not on my level. I don't know who y'all want me to be on this show. These people don't seem like they trying to be anything but superstars on the internet with the 4 followers they got.
Now, I want to pause it right there. She said she makes an acclaim, or I should say makes, someone might say, an insult. She says the people on the show, they're not on her level. That's the first thing she says. They're not on her level. And then the next thing she goes on to say is, these people are just trying to be superstars with the 4 subscribers that they have, right? Now, here's the thing, okay? Here's the thing as well, right? Who was this aimed at? Because like this seems like it's aimed at somebody, right? This seems very specific that you're aiming it at somebody, or at least a batch of people you're aiming it at, right? That you're saying that they're not your level. So number one, first and foremost, okay, if they're not your level, you don't have to agree to go on the show. It's your casting director. You can tell your casting director, this isn't the show for me. Number one. Number two, you're already 5 episodes in and you're already showing your nyash. Do you see what I'm saying to you? You're 5 episodes in and you're already showing your nyash. Your temperament is your temperament. And I keep saying this to people. Like, look, someone can say, you know what, you got me out of pocket and it was a moment, but you're having moments. At that point, I have to start considering that this is your normal behavior to adversity or to some certain situations that you're in. Because, and I've said this before, judging by the amount of ability, judging by the amount of information that we have received from this show concerning Janelle, I already said that originally, I think the fact that she grew up, I think she grew up without parents, if I'm correctly, grew up with a grandma or aunt or something like that. I said about the fact she mentioned herself about the abandonment issues as well. That's going to play a very strong role in how, at this point, she's trying to make herself the top of the hill. What she's doing right now is actually by inadvertently trying to trash the other castmates by saying that they are the ones looking for superstardom. She's inadvertently doing the very thing she's accusing some other people of. Now, what's really intriguing about this is the fact that at this point, as she says, they're not on my level. What does that mean that you are then? You've automatically brought yourself to a position where you've elevated yourself and lowered other people. But you see, one of the greatest things about humility is understanding how best, listen, people cannot be on your level, okay? People cannot be in level. You could be somewhere and they're not on your level. And the way you handle it, the way you transcribe it, the way you attack that problem tells us what maturity and what level of humility you actually have, right? Because if I look at a contract and I see it, it goes, you know what, this contract saying £500 are going to get paid, but I know my worth is £5,000. You know, I can say to you, listen, hey, look, I appreciate the offer, but this is well below what you're offering me. If you're, you know what I mean? There's a way to address it that tells me that you yourself have a level of respect, not only for the others, but for yourself and your brand. Do you get what I'm saying to you? Now you're showing your nyash. See, the very things that Tequila was talking about is kind of showing up here. You're kind of showing your nyash. You're showing your ass. You get what I'm saying to you? You're already telling us that they're not on your level, which is creating this persona that you feel you're better than them, right? Now, maybe she's going for the persona, because a lot of them are going for the persona, right? Like we just heard Habib on his interview with Crystal. He's put on a persona. A lot of people are trying to go for, maybe they're trying to go for the Bravo. Maybe they're trying to have their own kind of show. But let me just tell you this honestly. How many people have made it? How many seasons have we done? We've done 9 seasons, if not 10, I think, because some seasons have 2. And we still haven't found anybody who has had their own show from Ready to Love. And there's been some characters. Okay? Now, I'm not saying it's impossible. I'm not saying it is impossible at all. What I'm saying is that this plan that some people might think they have of becoming this particular larger than life character, let me be honest with you, people are still not getting the show. Now, maybe we saw a little bit with Clifton and Joy getting onto Real House of sorry, not Real House, onto Love and Marriage DC. But that's really about it. You know what I mean? Rarely are you seeing people now. You know what I mean? That's the rarest one. And they're a couple. They're not single. You see it. They're a couple. They're not single. All right? So when you're saying that you're above them, it just shows that level of arrogance, and you don't know how to actually address the situation. This is a PR mistake. This is a PR disaster.
These do not seem like quality people. I don't want to be bothered. My casting director told me, Janelle, please do not do that. Please just go to the mixer and
not your casting director. I'm sure she probably told you as well. Don't come out and say this either. This is foolish. Who is your manager? Who's your manager? This is a disaster. She does PR. It's a disaster. It's a disaster. It's a disaster. Like this is like reputational suicide in some sense.
And if you don't like anybody at the mixer, then just tell them y'all are so dramatic. Just tell them that you got to go come up with an excuse to leave the show. Okay. Before the mixer, we had a meeting with producers, one-on-one, with all of the producers on the show and the staff. Okay. At that time, I also told them, hey, not sure why you got me on the show. I don't think y'all have anybody here for me. I don't think there's anybody here for me on the show. They're like, no, we got some great guys for you. I want you to be on the show. We think you're great for the show. I'm not trying to be great for the show. I don't need to be famous. I'm already popular. I don't need a show. And newsflash, this ain't the show to do it, to make nobody famous at all.
Okay, so now, all right, cool. See, now let me just be honest with you. Just because we work, just because I like to look at the psychology of things as well, just for anybody out there. Okay, let's look at the psychology of this, right? Just the psychology of this. She goes and says, obviously, no, this ain't the show for me. I don't need to be on this show. There's nobody here for me. Fair play. I don't disbelieve that. Okay, great. Fantastic. All right, cool. Then obviously she's saying that, a newsflash, I'm already popular. I don't need the show. Let's not lie. Let me not lie. If I'm a YouTuber, I have 70K subscribers, 75K subscribers. On TikTok, I have 600,000. Okay? Just put it into it. I want to put it in perspective, right? On Instagram, I have 14,000. Own on YouTube has 5.5 million. You ain't got the reach. I need you to understand. You ain't got the reach. Yeah? That's YouTube. That's not nationwide we're talking about. That's just YouTube alone. Nationwide wise, how OWN and Oprah Winfrey Network has reaches and branches into. Do you get what I'm saying to you? So, it reminds me of the scripture where it says the water hit the leg, then it hit the knee, and then it hit the waist. And what it means is that as the water rising, your level is increasing, but maybe your level is your particular geographical area. But if we're honest, Ready to Love is a national show. Shoot, I go to America and people recognize me for talking about Ready to Love, and I'm from UK. You cannot tell me this show, okay, is not bigger than all of us. Let's stop pretending. We don't need to lie. No, am I satisfied enough? Am I content enough and what have you? Yes. but I would be lying to when they invited me to be on own network on their YouTube to do reviews. Baby, I rejoiced. 5.5 million people could see those videos. Don't get me gassed. So it's a completely different exposure, you know. So we can't pretend as if, and I get it, you may have already some success in the area you're in. You may already have some success in the area that you're in. But the reality of the situation, yes, again, Tara, most of us don't know her. And the reality of the situation is most people won't even know me. And when I say most, outside of the circumference of my circle that tune into these type of shows, most people don't know me. Do you get what I'm saying to you? Yeah. So I get what she's saying, but I just wanted to make that relevant clear. But by saying, obviously, I'm already popular, I didn't need a show, but you went on the show, right? We all have an aspect of needing a show in some aspect. Let's just keep it real. You know what I mean?
At all, okay? A producer calls me, Janelle, please do the show. It's gonna be great. I promise. We got people here for you. Da da da. I'm like, okay, fine, do the show. Went to the mixer. The mixer was great. I saw some gentlemen that I'm like, okay, they did their thing here.
Okay, so you were wrong. So again, so you were wrong. At this point, you were wrong. Right? At this point, you were wrong. You got into the show, you realized that there's some men are not as right. Now, of course, I'm not saying all the men were great, but I'm just saying, you know? Yeah? So, okay, cool. That's right.
Okay, y'all did y'all thing. Okay, I see a couple of, okay, this might y'all are so tragic, but whatever. Anyway, so I go to the mixer. I'm like, okay, this is a vibe. Okay, cool. Get in the process. When we are waiting for Tommy to come on, we are in, at that time, 80, 90 degree weather outside. Everybody's hot, everybody's sweating, everybody makeup falling off. And I'm like, okay, let me go and get my face together because we're still filming. And I'm like, let me block my face. Hey, Cindy. I go, block my face. When I turn around, Habibi is chest to chest to me and says, girl, don't put them titties on me. Put them titties on me the next time, I'ma suck them.
Well, hold on first a minute. Now, hold on a minute. I have to address this. Aside everything else, that is sexual assault. What the frick? No, I have to be honest. Put everything aside, whatever I feel about Janelle and Kat's situation, I didn't know this was a story. That is disgusting. That is disgusting. That is disgusting. Not in that way. She didn't tell us that he was chest to chest. Like on the show, she mentioned that he said those lines, but I did not know that he actually was literally chest to chest with her. That he broke every physical boundary and then saying that he's on the you're on the verge of bro. That should have been an immediate cancellation. Boom, right there. I thought he had made a comment, and that's what it was. I don't remember her saying that he literally was in her space, chest to chest. That is scary, and that is disgusting behavior from Habib. And I've just watched his interview and talking about, you know, I know how to treat women, but you're literally putting you've broken every physical boundary, put your chest on her chest, literally chest to chest. What? That right there, yeah. Disgusting. And especially after we've had the Phil and Shiloh stuff, why the frick are we wasting time? Wait, not even just that. The Kia and situation with Eric, we had that situation. Why you know what I'm saying? Like, don't wait. Own shouldn't wait till they get some serious trouble. Like, yo, we've had some situations already. We've had some situations already in the past, okay, where you did more with the Shiloh and the Phil situation. I don't, you know what I mean? They did more. So I'm confused how they did so much more with the Shiloh and Phil situation, and we're here letting Habib get away with this. That's ridiculous. Mm.
I immediately went and told a producer what he said. When he said it, I was shocked. I'm like, what? Like, you're right here on me. I can't believe this. Amber, do not fight with these people. Do not fight with these people in the comments. Don't fight with these people in the comments. It's not worth it. When he said it to me, I was like, so taken aback, because I just had never heard nothing like that with a man who was this close to me before. Okay? I immediately told a producer. What did that producer do? Nothing. They allowed his predatory behavior to continue. Okay? Because you're going to see it come up again and again, and you're going to see it come up at the reunion, which we already filmed. Okay?
Yo, tell me there's not more that's going to come out with this brother. Tell me there's not going to be more that's going to come out with that brother, because that's yo, tell me there wasn't more. Because at this point, someone should sue. I wouldn't be mad if they sued. What we do? Why are we allowing someone like this? Like, we've had too many close shaves, right? We had Troy beforehand, who was on the borderline, and he did borderline do something because he touched. It was borderline. It's borderline. But like, yo, at this point, like, are we got to name and shame. We might have to name and shame, because why are we allowing sexual assault on these platforms? This should not be happening on the show. This should be a simple thing of, you are banned, you are now you are off this show. They did it for Eric. I don't understand what this is about. Like, what more do you want? I'm not saying Janelle is an innocent party in terms of her behavior with other ladies. What I'm talking about is that the fact is, a brother stepped in and has done this, and then potentially has, again, something I think is going to happen at the reunion. We'll see. We'll have to wait and see. As to what it is. Yeah, Troy. Oh, did he put his hand up on the shirt? I think, yes, he did. I think he did do that. Yes, he did do that. Okay, I take that back. It wasn't borderline. Yes, it was crazy at the time. Yeah, he basically admitted he said it. This is not it, man. This is not it. Honestly, this is not it. This is a safety issue. This is a safety issue for the ladies, and this should not be dealt with in this way. I'm just so surprised that they've been so lackadaisical on this aspect, when they've been doing more for other situations that were so stupid. Like, not even stupid, but were a bit more gray. You know what I mean? You feel what I'm saying to you? Like, what needs to be happening is, these men that get caught need to be enrolled immediately, because I know they're not going to take them to court. I know these ladies are not going to end up going to prison. What we need to be doing is, these people need to be enrolled in courses on sexual assault and sexual harassment straight away. You know what I mean? Or they can't work on the show again. You know what I mean? Like, I think it should just be straight up forward. You need to be on a sexual assault course on to next few weeks, otherwise you can't join any platforms, anything like that. No interviews, nothing like that. None of those things. So there's a re-education, because honestly, it's wild out there. And people, that's someone's sister, that's someone's mom. Like, you know what I mean? Like, listen, that's disgusting for me.
From there, here's what I will pause. My greatest regret in that moment was, I should have said what Habibi did in the moment of saying why people are in your bottom. But I didn't think I had to do that, because I escalated the situation appropriately and professionally. I let the powers that be know what happened. exactly when it happened and that something needed to be done about it. Nothing was done about it. Okay? I should have said it in the moment, but I'm thinking they're going to take care of it. This guy is going to go home. It'll be fine.
Now, so the key question is this as well, because Tommy reacted to what her comment was. What was it a real comment that he, and someone put in the chat, was he really frustrated by what he saw or whatever? You know, I wonder what Tommy's actual thought process was then in the situation, because you know you're hearing that of one of the ladies on your show. I would listen. I'll tell you something. Like, I remember years ago, probably when I was about like 20, when I was running a youth ministry on WhatsApp. I know it sounds mad, but these are the days I was doing WhatsApp, yeah, and I was running a youth ministry on WhatsApp, and I remember one of the guys was kind of harassing one of the girls. I had a couple of leaders, and some of them were ladies, and I remember one of the guys was like kept on messaging one of the girls, and she had told me like she doesn't like him like that, and it's getting frustrating. She's told him that he needs to stop, like anything other than just about Jesus stuff, he needs to leave it alone. And I remember I messaged him. I said, and I remember she told me it, and I said, all right, cool. So I've messaged him. I said, bro, listen, let me be honest with you. Listen, maybe you're missing the cues, but our sis does not want you and doesn't want this personal attention. Keep it biblical, keep it Christian. Anything other than that, she don't want to know. I said, the next time you do this, you're out. I just don't have time. Like, why am I wasting time with what this situation's happening? You're a danger to the people around me. Like, you get what I'm saying to you? It should be that simple. That's all I see it as. I see it as it's that simple. I don't care how much the show is going to go on. You've got one chance. If you do this again, you're out. You know what I mean? But that was different because he wasn't touching her. He wasn't in her personal space. This was all by text. So it's slightly different. And he never said he wanted to suck her breast. That's a bit mad. But you know what I mean? And those were very young people. That was like that was like, 16. They were 16, 17. You know what I mean? They were very young. We're talking about fully grown adults. That situation I was dealing with was 16-year-olds, 15-year-olds. Do you get what I'm saying to you? It's completely different. But even so, there has to be a final ruling on there to say, hey, look, no more. That's it.
Because I hate that Brandon went home instead. Because I really think that if Brandon hadn't gone home then, Brandon wouldn't have gone home. Brandon probably would have made it pretty far, if not to the end. Okay? So that's the first thing. Somebody's asking, was Tommy's response a put on? No, but that was the first time Tommy heard about it. Why? Because when I told producers, they did nothing. So when I said it in the lounge, that was the first time that Tommy heard about it. And they didn't even play his visceral reaction to it. He was livid about it. He could not believe that something like that was said. So then when Lee says, he said to her, oh, you so MNF and fine, or whatever her quote was, or what have you, this was behavior that was happening. It was brought to people's attention and nobody did anything. Okay? At that mixer, what you guys do not understand is, one, and I know some of y'all have heard this before, is we were filming all day. The call time was at 10 o'clock. I did not get home until 3 a.m. The first elimination that we did, I'm pretty sure it was probably at like 9 or 10 o'clock at night. Okay? And then after we did the second elimination, we were still there filming for a while. So what y'all are seeing, you're not seeing in real time. You're not seeing in chronological order. And that is what y'all have to understand. You are watching a TV show that is here to entertain you. And y'all think that everything that you see is the literal interpretation of that's not what it is. Also, we see it with y'all. So we don't know what's happening. We know in the order of which we film things. I have a one-on-one date with one of my connections. They ain't even played yet. I don't know if they're gonna play it or not. I have no idea. It's a date that they can play at any point, but I'm like, the things that have happened, y'all are looking at them, forming opinions. I'm this, I'm that, she's this, that, and you have no idea. Okay. Tommy says we have a brunch. Okay. What's up, Sierra? Now at the mixer, I talked to the majority of, I'm pretty sure I talked to all the only guy who I really didn't talk to a long time was.
It must have paused.
Okay. I didn't get to talk to Phil a long time, but I thought he was handsome. I was like, oh, okay, Phil. Of course, connected with Quentin, had a conversation with Maurier, talked to Brandon, talked to Marvin, talked to all the guys. Herbert, Red, y'all didn't see that. Talked to all the guys.
Okay, so she talked to a lot of these guys, but it's interesting because at the beginning of this particular at the beginning of the particular video, what did she say? She said, "These people are 70% of these people are beneath me." So clearly, some of these guys were obviously someone that you respect, because she didn't actually insult these men. She kind of said what she said: Herbert, Phil, and I can't remember who else she said. One more person that she said that was pretty cool. It seems like, because you're not mentioning them in a disrespectful light. So clearly, there's some people that obviously were having, and as you said, you were having dates with some people, and I hear you. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, we know it's a show. We know it's edited. We know that some things are going to be pulled from other areas to other areas. We've heard this before. What does that mean for your behavior, though? Again, because like I keep saying, behavior. Listen, what she's showing us on this screen, she's got, and I always say this as well, for those of you who are regulars on this platform. First and foremost, if you're here new, like the life. Don't come in here and not like the life. Don't do that to me. Don't do it to your mother. Don't do it to your father. Don't do it to your great grandfather. You understand what I'm saying to you? But no, if you're here, like the life. First and foremost, let's get them likes up. Okay, there's 750 people in the room. Second thing is this, right? When I interviewed a lot of the castmates, I say it every season. Your behavior, you have an interview, show us something different. And every time, and most occasions, if not 90 to 95% of these interviews, the people show us exactly what we saw on the screen. Ain't no different. So when people are talking about they edit the show, I hear you, but you have 2 hours. She's got 2 hours to give us something different. I want to ask a question. Type it in the chat if I'm thinking. Has she shown you something different to what you saw on the show? Okay, let me ask a question. For those of you who are in the chat right now, 750 people in this room, put it in the chat right now. Has Janelle showed you something different to what you saw in the show? Has she showed you something different? Do you see her in a different light now? You've heard her on her platform and heard her own voice and heard her own, and you're hearing so far maybe like 10 to 15 minutes of this show, of her own story. Do you hear something different to the narrative that Ready to Love played for them? No? Do you know why? Because one thing that Ready to Love is very clever at is they do psychological tests. The psychological tests are there for two things. One, to see how mentally capable you are, and probably to see you can pass. They don't, there's some touch and go with those ones. But the second thing is this: they want to know what character best suits you. See, the people that play villains have the people that play the best villains oftentimes have darker traits to their personality. And if they're not aware and are not self-aware and they're not introspective, they play the villain role without even thinking about it. And then they cry about it later on because they've never seen their own behavior backwards to themselves. But the reality is, Ready to Love has done a personality test and they know what role best fits you. So Janelle was playing this mean girl, but they already knew that. And guess what? You're not going to do anything different because that's because you've allowed certain behaviors to become part of your personality now. Okay, like I keep saying about Janelle, she's competing with the other women. And I keep saying that is telling me that when you look at Janelle's behavior, the reason why she's competing with other women is because she wants to be special in the eyes of other men. And she may not say it. She may say it's completely different. That's not what she's doing. She's not doing it for the male gaze. It's not for the male gaze. It is for the patriarchy that understands that validation at the highest order comes from men. Just saying. No one, I know y'all some might not agree with that, but just hear me out. Just hear me out. Okay? Just hear me out. All right. So what you realize is she tries to make herself special amongst the women to say, I'm the better woman than all these other women. She doesn't necessarily need to be chosen in a relationship. She just needs to beat the other women. So it proves that she's worthy and that she's chosen. And that's what's coming. That's what's coming. So that's what we're now seeing. Yes, it's elitist, but it's elitist because it's coming from a place where she has to try and prove to everybody that she's better than the other women. But that is coming from a place of fear. That's coming from a place of abandonment. That's coming from a place where you were discarded. That's coming from a place where you were not wanted. That's coming from a place where you were unprotected. That's coming from a place where you were not loved and cared for the way that you needed to be. You were unprotected. And so now we are seeing the effects of that unprotection on my screen, and you are competing with other women, and it gets into a fight with other women, and they don't have positive things to say about you. But let me continue because I digress.
Did not get to interact with the women. One of my dear friends is on this show, and I did not get to talk to her at all at the mixer. Because y'all have to keep in mind that at the time there's 18 cast members, we got a 60-person crew, and you trying to meet everybody, you trying to sit down and rest, you trying to swat the mosquitoes away, like you're just trying to get through the day. This is also, my first time being on TV, but not other people's first time being on TV trying to find love, but my first time on TV. So it's a lot going on in the moment. Okay. Tom says, we got a brunch. Cool. Now, the brunch was, I want to say like 2 or 3 days later, maybe 2 days later. Okay. We go to the brunch. I'm really surprised that they did not show more of the brunch because we were there forever. And the majority of us had dates after the brunch, which I think they've only showed like one date that actually happened after the brunch. Okay. So whatever. Had the date after the brunch. Went to the brunch. Brunch was blah, blah. Everybody goes on their respective dates. The next day, I have a group date with Phil, Red, Habibi, Tequila, and Kira. Okay? Now let's put a pin in that because y'all mad because I said her bag was fake. Let me be clear about something. For those of you who don't know me, I've really been in this fashion game. Okay? But let's put all that aside. Okay? When we were at the Mansion Mixer, I'm sitting down talking to Red. We are filming a scene, whatever, conversation. We're sitting on a couch. Over walks Kira and Habibi, and they sit down on the couch next to me. Next to me. Red is here. I'm here. They're sitting there. Okay, well, whatever. Kira says, well, tell me about you. And I'm like, you're not here to meet me. You're here to meet these men. Well, I know, but I didn't get to talk to you. What's your story? How old are you? I'm like, I'm 41. Oh my God, what? You're 41? Oh my God, girl, you look good. I said, don't be shocked. Well, what are you? I said, Kira, you're not here to meet me. Talk to the men. She goes, Red is her connection. I turned to Red and I say, you like her? Because I'm in shock. I'm not seeing people interact. You can't see people interact really at the Mansion Mixer. So I don't know who's talking to who. So when I asked, I'm asking him, if you like her, say it in front of her and say it in front of me. We're all here to date multiple guys. It's not a big deal. What we signed up for was to date multiple people. I don't need to be jealous. Don't nobody got nothing no more. And all the niggas like me. What are y'all watching? Are you kidding me? I need to be.
So what's really interesting about that scene, right? It's interesting, right? So the question that was asked was about, why did you say the handbag situation? Why did you say her handbag was fake? So then she gives us a whole story first and foremost to tell us that Kira basically was asking her questions about herself and asking her, so what, how old are you? Right? So she was like, well, basically, I'm not here for you. I'm here for the mans. So focus yourself on the mans. Okay. So now you say that, and then Kira obviously then is flirting with Red, and you're saying that, okay, that you're asking Red, do you like Kira? At this point, Still not getting a justification for why you said what you said, but I just want to just bring that to everybody's attention so we can get
Be
somewhere.
jealous? Stop. Stop it. Okay? I say red.
See, so here's the thing. What she does, and this is where, and this I'll go slightly back. I just want you to be able to, again, because we're going to break this down. We're only 14 minutes in. God damn. Hey, we're going to have to do this over a few nights because this is crazy.
What we signed up for was to date multiple people. I don't need to be jealous. Don't nobody got nothing no more. Ain't all the niggas like me. What do y'all?
Pause. So she says, obviously, I don't need to be jealous because all the niggas like me. Unfortunately, because Janelle is not looking at the full spectrum of the picture, she doesn't understand where jealousy can actually kick in. The jealousy isn't necessary that you think you're jealous over maybe Kira. It doesn't necessarily have to be that you're jealous of Kira herself. But what it can be, is that, like I said, you may be jealous of the attention she may be receiving. And just because you're getting, and this is what you don't realize, people that are oftentimes in deficit of attention, what I mean by that, meaning that they want to have more attention, they want to have more validation because there is a hole in them. And the hole is, like I said, when you are abandoned as a child, and I think she was put through foster care too, it does something to you. I've met 1 or 2 people that have been in foster care, only 1 or 2, and I know some of the things that they go through, some of the craziness that goes through is crazy. Not only that, but remember, you're trying to be chosen. You have to deep it. Your whole life is about hopefully being chosen, maybe by a family who can take care of you. So remember, that's the thought process. You know what I mean? That's the thought process. The thought process is, I gotta get chosen. So as a tree is growing, depending on the structure of the seedling of how it's grown, it can grow bent or it can grow straight, depending on, first and foremost, the support it has when it's growing. And so a child that becomes an adult can grow in a particular way that it's still carrying the wounds of that young child. So having that attitude of being chosen, that's what can come up right now. So when you are literally in the space where you're dealing with the other women, you're not fighting the women, you're fighting to be chosen. And so when you're saying things like, all the men liked me, it's actually a validation that you're actually declaring something in that moment, which is true. I'm sure all the guys did like her. Listen, even me, I'm like, God, she fine. I mean, they were toxic, but she fine. I ain't gonna lie to you. I might have to DM her real quick and be like, baby, let me tell you, I know you toxic, but let me just say hello. But but that doesn't change the whole fact that you're gonna always want more because your appetite's gonna be insatiable. See, that young child will never be satisfied until it's healed. So even if you get all the mans in the room, even if you get all the men's wanting you, you're going to want to be able to destroy all the other people in the room too, because you're never satisfied until everybody else is dead. And that, I don't mean that physically. Do you get what I'm saying to you? Right? So at that point, what she's doing is that even if the other woman, anytime the other woman get an attention, even when the other women get any kind of attention, she has to rob that away from them. You can't have that attention. Because at any moment, if I allow you to have that attention around me, I could lose my attention. Now, let me tell you this now. This is not her thought process literally as an adult. And she's thinking, I have to stop these other ladies getting their attention. That's not how she's thinking. It's the little girl that's inside of her that is thinking that is driving the train. And see, the little girl is your subconscious programming that's running underneath. The same way you never see the programming of your computer. You turn it on. You click a program, you don't see the program that runs underneath it. There's a program that runs. You can actually type it into your thing and you can see what programs, and you'll see the code that comes up. The same thing happens to us as a human being. There's a code that comes up. And so what she doesn't realize is she's operating on that code. And so it's making her now having to almost be so competitive that she even wants to, she's like, I'm breathing, but you breathing too? I got to suck the air from you. You know, you ever heard, and I don't know how true it is now, but you ever heard the part where someone says, the reason why when you yawn, someone else yawns? So the reason why you yawn and then someone else yawns and it quote unquote is a story is because when you yawn, I yawn because I feel like you're taking all the oxygen in the room, quote unquote. It's a story. I don't know how true it is, right? But I'm using that as an analogy. That's Janelle. Janelle is seeing you yawn and goes, you're taking all the oxygen in the room, baby. Let me yawn again, even though she's got oxygen. Do you see what I'm saying to you? Right? That's what you're seeing right now. So yes, yes, you didn't have to talk about her handbag, but we'll come on there anyway. Let's play.
Watching. Are you kidding me? I need to be jealous. Stop.
Jesus.
Stop.
Take the wheel.
Okay? I say, Red, you like her? He's like, yeah. I'm like, oh, okay. I was like, I didn't know. Kira goes, girl, you know he like both of us. We the most high maintenance things here. Oh,
I believe
Kira said that.
I believe Kira said that.
You and me, we're the same. Okay. So let's see how much the same we are.
Oh, wait. Hold up, wait a minute, girl. Why do you gotta do that? Oh, why does she have to go there? Okay, listen, first and foremost, Kira, for obviously saying, you know, we're the same, maybe that probably wasn't the right thing to say, but see that, that's, oh man, we're 14 minutes and 30 seconds in. I don't know how we're going to do this. Ooh, baby. Listen, right there tells me everything I need to know. So because the girl said we're the same, let me let her finish her thought. Let me let her land.
Got it. So we get to our group date. Now, when she said I must like beer, that was okay for y'all. But which is not true, because also, if you really know me, you know that one, I didn't have my first drink until I was 30. And two, I certainly don't drink beer. Okay. I ain't never had beer a day in my life. Okay. So that was okay for her to say. But I say that she has a fake bag, which is fact, and that's a problem.
I'm so confused. What happened? Wait, let's go back. Sorry, quickly. About did she say you have a beard or a beer? I mean, I just need to understand.
Drink.
I'm sure she said beer because she said you hadn't had her first drink when she was 30. But what does that go? When did this come about? Hold on.
Got it. So we get to our group date. Now, when she said I must like beer, that was okay for y'all. But which is not true, because also, if you really know me, you know that one, I didn't have my first drink until I was 30. And
okay, I don't even remember even Kira saying you must like beer. Was that a shade? I don't even know. I don't remember that even being a shade. Was that a shade? Was that a shade? I don't even remember that being a shade. I don't remember that being a shade. I don't remember that being a shade. Her saying that you must like beer. I mean, as Jesse would say, the continents are not aligning. The continents, because where? I don't know. Is that really shade? You must like beer. I don't know. Okay, maybe she said, okay, the beer means low maintenance. Okay, fair enough. Maybe in beer for America, it's kind of low class women. Okay, all right, fair enough then. I didn't know that during her interview on the show. Okay, but okay, so was the shade? But the shade, was it? Did she say it to her? Because someone said that she said it in the interview. Did she say it to her? How would she have found out? How would she have known? If Kira didn't say it to her specifically, how would she have found out? That's a question I'm asking. So did she say it to her face? Because if she didn't say it's in a confession, then how would she know? No, how would she know? How would she know? Because when she made the comment about the bag, she would have not known about the confessional, because the confessional only comes when you watch the show. So we're 3 months away late. So how would she know? So then you can't talk about it then. Do you see what I'm saying? So you ain't got no excuse. You ain't got an excuse. You've not got an excuse for making the comment about the handbag, because you would have never known she made that comment until later on. Right? You'd have never known you wouldn't have never known until later on, weeks, months, until you would have never known. So how would you have known she said about the beer thing? So you were being shady before even the beer thing. And here's the reason why. I wanted to watch her land, and she didn't land very well at all. Let's be real. Okay. The reality of the situation is, okay, our good sis Janelle didn't like being compared. And I'll tell you why she didn't want to be compared. Janelle didn't want to be compared because, again, it goes back to what I just said about the fact that with Janelle, she wants to be special. She wants to be unique selling point. She wants to be the only one that is heralded. And it's unfortunate, right? Because remember, if you're coming from a foster care system, it's a dog eat dog world out there, baby. We can't all get chosen. That mindset's sticking in you. So for her to be compared, she said, you can't compare me to you. I cannot be compared. And if I can be compared, then there's a problem. Because if I'm compared to you, then I'm not so special anymore. You see what I'm saying to you? So there was no reason for Janelle to make this comment, because the comment about the beer came later on. You'd have never known, which means this was an unprovoked attack because you didn't like the fact that she called you, that she said that you were both high maintenance. And that's why that is why earlier on, okay, she was adopted then. My bad. I apologize. She was adopted. Foster care, adopted, whichever one. She had abandonment issues. Okay, so let me say that. Sorry. Apology if I say foster care. Abandonment issues, which is still pretty much the same, because it's about being chosen. Okay, so I apologize if it's not foster care, then it's been adopted. It's about abandonment. Okay, cool. So going back, obviously, right, going back in, and so you can't compare Janelle to anybody, because that will remove her specialness. That will remove the power of being chosen. That will remove that aspect, right? So, I can understand I can understand how that can impact someone. You know what I'm saying? I can understand how that can really impact someone. So that's a big thing. That's a big thing, but that's deep. That's deep. And so that's why she was so quick when she said, "Oh, let's see if we're both 5 minutes." Well, let's see then. Well, if someone says to me that we're both, we both love good food, it's my immediate responsibility. I got to show this person that they don't know about the finest cuisines. They don't know about the finest cuisine. If someone says to me, I got an acquired palate. We both got an acquired palate. Would I be trying to test out? Let's see how they got an acquired palate. No, you wouldn't be trying to see if I want to make sure I call them out to see if they got an acquired palate. You wouldn't do that.
Two, I certainly don't drink beer. Okay, I ain't never had beer a day in my life. Okay, so that was okay for her to say. But I say that she has a fake bag, which is fact, and that's a problem. Y'all are crazy. And not for nothing, because I stand on what I said. Y'all ain't gonna never, I stand on what I say. When I said it, however, again, y'all have to realize this is like our second day actually filming a scene. We were walking out. I really did not think that they were still micing us, because when we walked out, everybody who was at the group date was still there. You don't walk out and go home. You walk out, you get brief, you debrief, you have other, so many things. It's not unnecessary to say. You're unnecessary. Move on. You're unnecessarily here. It is necessary to say. The end. Stop being bothered. If you didn't have a fake bag, I wouldn't say it. The end. When I was her age, I had a fake bag too. It's fine. Why does that bother y'all so much?
But why did it bother you enough to have to say it? See, this you ain't about to trick us, sis. Why would it bother you enough to want to say it out loud? You said it to Red. Why? No. You didn't have to say it to Red. Why would you have said it? I mean, you didn't have to say it. Why would you say it out loud? You didn't need to say it. You could have thought it and be like, it's a fake bag. If you know that you had a fake bag when you were younger, why would you need to say it out loud to someone else? I just don't get it. I don't understand why you would need to do that. Especially when you're giving us the background, saying about, when you gave us the background by saying, oh, she's already said that, that we are both high maintenance. And then your attitude, your tone and your energy shifted when she said that. Come on. Come on now, sis.
It's fake.
And even the energy you're giving now, it's not telling me that you said it in a way of saying, oh, no, it's a fake bag. Like, that's what I meant. You're even still giving us attitude now. How do you want me to read it? How do you want me to see? And that's what's telling me self-awareness. Self-awareness is key, and it's paramount for a lot of people. They are lacking self-awareness, that they're not even listening to what they're saying. When she's not even listening to what you're saying, you're not even deeping the situation. Deep what you're saying. You are giving us attitude, telling us it's a fake bag. Get over it. I said what I said. I stand 10 toes down. But why are you standing 10 toes down? Because if you said it in a way that wasn't rude, you wouldn't need to necessarily stand 10 toes down because it wasn't rude. You said, hey, listen, I've had a fake bag before. I saw that Kira had a fake bag. It is what it is. You know, we all did. But you saying it like she had a fake bag, like you trying to insult her with your tone. You're not saying it, but your tone is telling us you're insulting her. You get me? So let's not pretend as if this is a cool thing.
It's fine. Not a big deal. Okay? Now, when I walked out with Red and got unmiked, also, here's another thing that y'all didn't see, because Tequila did an interview about it. Because she does just enough, just like the devil. You do just enough to tell a lie, but there's some truth in it. So she said that I linked up with Habib arm in arm and said something to him like, who do you like? Something, who do you like, or whatever. She played it real chummy. Whatever. What I did say to Habib is, when he says like, oh, we didn't talk. And I said, yes, we did. And I said, I don't even know who you like. Who do you like? I think that part played. Because the girls were trying to get me to go out on a date with him. To which I say, you don't need to go out on a date with me. Go out nurture the connections that could be possible real connections with you. We don't have a connection. And he was like, that's what's up. He dapped me up. He handed out his dap. I dapped him up. He was like, oh my God, that's so cool. I've never dapped up a girl before. And we moved on. Okay? We moved on. I walk outside of our scene with all of the cast members there. And I don't link up arm in arm with Habibi. You know who I do talk to, y'all? Tequila. And she was like, hey, can I talk to you? I'm like, sure. Because I didn't know we had beef. She said, oh my God, production, they made me say mean things about you and Jessica in my interview. I said, what? Yeah, girl, they stopped production. They said they wanted drama. They made me say these things. I said, well, what did you say? She said, well, I must have said, I said you and Jessica were mean girls. Now let's put a pin in that. This is day 2, 3 of filming. Jessica and I have had no interaction with Tequila, but yet we're mean girls already. Tequila is crying to me in her car, crying like the psychopath she is. I said, well, it's fine. It's not a big deal. And she said, well, I may have called y'all Beavis and Butthead, to which I busted out laughing because I can take a joke. I said, girl, that's hilarious. I said, it's fine. She's like, well, I don't want people to think that I'm mean because I uplift women and I this and I that and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, I said, listen, I said, here's what we can do. I said, by the time the show airs, we can post some pictures together.
No, this situation is a bit peak. I don't know who to believe, but I think both of them are a problem. I ain't gonna lie to you. I think both Janelle and both Tequila be a problem. And I definitely do believe some of the transactions of this conversation. I can definitely see how maybe Tequila would have been like, you know what, trying to make herself no longer a problem, because on the interview that she did with Crystal, there was a lack of accountability. You know what I mean? And funnily enough, the other person who lacks accountability is also telling us a story right now. There are two people, two peas in the pod, who are both unaccountable for their behaviors, who refuse to really look at where they contribute to a downfall of a situation. That's why I believe her story and I believe Tequila's story, because they're both looking at it from an unaccountable position. You know what I mean? Yeah, two unaccountable people. I believe both of your stories because you're unaccountable together. You know what I mean? You're exactly the same. Yeah, just in different ways. Okay, it just looks at yours. You know, you look like the light, she looks like the dark, but the reality is you're both the same.
Whether it'll not be a big thing, because again, we don't know what people as the talent, we don't know how they're going to edit our interviews and like the confessionals. So she's worried about that. She's going to come off looking however in her confessionals. You didn't say we're mean girls and we're beefs about that, but we've had no interaction with you at all. Okay.
Well, I mean, I'm gonna say you may not have had necessarily any I don't know if you necessarily can say that you've never had interaction. You know, when people say those large lines like "we never even spoke," I'm like, are you sure? Are you sure? Up until that point, you had no interactions at all. Day 2 of filming. Are you sure? Because the mansion, if I remember correctly, the mansion aspect, wasn't that the part where she says about Habib and then says basically that, you know what, some people don't know what real love is. When Tequila says that, is that not an interaction? Did you guys not talk at all? I'm just saying. I'm not saying that you did anything wrong in that situation. I'm just saying, but did you not have an interaction then? See, when people start saying never spoke, So you never spoke, but she came out and just said out of the blue that you and Jessica were mean girls. Okay.
She stops crying for a minute and she's like, she's lying. So she said she couldn't tell production no. That's a lie. You know why? Because I asked the producer. She's lying. She wanted to describe us as that way, and that's fine. I told her, I was like, hey, if that's how you feel, it's fine. I was like, but we're cool. Like, whatever. You get to.
And just to point this out as well, guys. This is exactly the same season. You know, this is exactly it's reminding me of that season, DC season, the Potomac season. Same thing again. There are factions that are being built. So people have lines drawn in the sand. There are teams that are being built, and so whenever these stories are going to come out, you have to understand there's going to be teams that are going to be who are going to give their perspective. So we have to even be cautious about who's backing who, because there's going to be alliances that are built, just like we saw with brown skin girls and the likes of Sabrina and you know, the other crews who were there as well. Like, there's going to be that Aisha and them as well. You know what I mean? So yeah.
Everybody gets to feel how they feel. Nobody's taking that away from anyone. Feel how you feel, but you got to stand on it, and you have to present a receipt as to why. That's all. Production did not tell her to do that. That is how she felt. How do I know that none of the guys liked her? Because they told me when I talked to all of them on the phone. This is not hard, okay? She continues with, and they made me say that's all these sexy questions about Phil. Now, I got to the date late. Like how y'all see it,
Now, what's really interesting is that obviously the beef that she has, what day was that? Was it the third day of filming or second day of filming? I'm trying to think what day that was, because you guys had a beef, and the beef was because Twitter said that you guys were specifically cutting her off all the time or laughing all the time. So there must have been some kind of interaction, because you also too came and gave her gave her a good back what you received. So surely there was a little bit of something there already. You know, there's some type of connection. Surely.
Super late. I was super late that day. Like, after I got there, we literally spent maybe 30 more minutes filming, and then we left. I was super late because I was waiting for production to let me know where my second date was going to be for the day. Because during this process, we're going on 2-3 dates a day. Okay. So I had to wait for my second location so that I can know what to bring with me for the rest of the day, because they want you to bring your clothes with you and all of the silly stuff. Okay. So she's like, so when she had the conversation with Phil, I didn't know anything about it. I didn't know about it at the mansion mixer when they have the conversation, and I didn't know about it when they had the conversation about all the sexy questions on the date. I didn't know anything about this. So when she's telling me, I'm like, oh, okay. I was like, they did? She's like, yeah, and she says to me, I would never say anything like that. I can't believe they told me to say that, because I'm a lady. I would never say anything like that. Starts crying again, because I've been praying with my pastor, and I've been talking to my mama, and I'm like,
I mean, I believe this. I ain't gonna lie to you that Tequila was given unstable even in the interview. So I'm not gonna lie to you. I can see that happening. You know what I mean? Like,
okay. Then she goes, and Quentin only date white women. What? I said, what you talking about? And she was like, he only date white women. I was like, I said, how you know that? So let's get to it. I said, how you know that? She said, well, Leanne said that she see him at the gym and he ain't never with no black girls. Okay, because he's training his clients.
Not Lee too saying the thing as well, because
his clients got to be black. And if they're not black, then he don't like black women. And I said, well, I don't know about that. I was like, because Quentin on my phone and I'm not white. So I'm guessing that it's going to be okay. I don't know, girl. He only date white girls. I said, all right, it's cool, whatever. She takes me home since I don't have a car, as if. I get home, I immediately call Quentin. Hey, she said you only date white girls. What's up with that? He's like, what? She said, what? I said, yeah. Ran it down to him. So when we get to the lounge the next day, her energy from off top was off.
Oh, sorry, Leanne.
This was our first time being in the lounge. So we were actually super excited to see one another. Why? Because we, in other group settings, didn't get to interface really as girls, okay? So we in there, we have a good time. We started our group chat. We da-da-da-da. It's all love. They had us waiting forever that day. So we sitting here having lunch, having a great time. Having a great time, okay? So Tequila's energy was off. But again, we're new in this circle, so we don't know. Everybody kind of notices it, but she's being quiet. You know, she's just being quiet. She's not really talking to anybody but Unique. And at one point, we were all sitting at the table, Unique and her go away. We're like, where'd they go? But everybody's just kind of going with the flow because also this is our first lounge. We don't know what to expect. We don't know what, you know, we don't know. So we're just kind of going with whatever production tells us to do next, right? So when we get in the lounge, Tequila starts running down all the things that she said production made her say, but she's saying it as if these are her thoughts. So when you're watching it on TV, she's like, I mean, I asked Phil about da-da-da-da. We grown. Why can't you do it? And Quentin likes white women. Now, you just told me less than 24 hours ago that production made you say these things. So why now, when we get to the lounge, you're saying that these are the things that you said? Which is it? So for me, I'm totally taken aback. When they start the Phil conversation in the lounge, I don't think it aired. And I say, well, I had a conversation with Phil about what you said, and he said he was not comfortable with it. Here she go. Well, so much so, her smoke was so hot in that lounge. Sierra says to her, are you okay? And she says, I'm okay. Are you okay? Already with an attitude. And we're all sitting there like, what? Okay. So when Tommy asked me who is in my bottom, fun fact, I say Habibi. I don't say why. They're like, tell us why. I'm like, I don't want to relive this. When I told their producer initially, I told her, I don't want this to be part of my storyline. I don't want to deal with Habibi. I'm thinking that they would be smart enough or be respectful enough to send this man home. So it shouldn't, I shouldn't have to deal with him anymore. But no, not the case. Okay. So they're pushing me. Also, just quick commercial break. When they ask us who's in our bottom, I don't know about for the men. I think pretty much for the men, but for the women, they ask us to say 3 names. 3. Every single time. We got to say 3 names. They edit based on whatever storyline they need to push forward. Okay? So I say what Habibi says. Tommy has his reaction. So when Tommy says who would say something like that, and I say they top, yeah, they top. It's not no poking. It's not no, we're talking about the predatory behavior of this young man, and you're out here still defending him, and you going hard for him, lying, conniving, throwing other men in this process under the bus, assassinating their character, and then this is who you're championing? Habibi? So apparently y'all didn't like when I was like, they top. It was sarcasm because it's ridiculous that he would be in anybody's top because his behavior was so bad from the start of us filming. Bad behavior. And since this is in fact the only person that likes you, and you know that if he goes home, you're gonna go home because no one likes you. So when I say you're just mad because no one likes you, it in fact is fact. She went home next week. What are y'all not following? No one likes you. And not because you're not likable, you're not, but because you're crazy. And you have said some of the worst, most ridiculous things about people in these moments. And it's stupid. She did herself a disservice by just acting dumb and choosing a dude because that's all she could choose. She knew nobody else was going to pick her. This person said, I met him and he's actually a great guy. Let me tell you something. What's interesting about Habibi is Habibi, when he's not performing, is cool. Super cool. Good to have conversation with. But like I said, he likes to perform. He likes to get a response out of people. He likes to have like these kind of shock moments where he says something and you're like, wait, what? Just like he did with Sierra. When he said, fuck your mom. She's like, what? So yeah, I venture to say he's a sweet guy, but he's immature. And that's what I've always said. He's immature and he's inappropriate. And he needs to grow up. Even when I told the producer, I was like, listen, it's immature. It's inappropriate. I said it to Tommy at the mansion mixture. Immature, inappropriate. That is what plagues him. It's not about being a bad person. It's not about being a good person. He just have some growing up to do. You get to mess up. You get to misstep. You get to say the wrong thing. But can you take accountability of the things that you say? Can you be like, yeah, I probably should have said that. These posts I made today, probably shouldn't have done them. I'm grown up enough to say that. But I'm at my limit with these people. At my limit with these people. Okay? We in the lounge. So Willa gets mad because I say I don't like you. And then apparently I'm light skinned. Because that's the only reason why any of these men would like me. I'm light skinned. Now I'm not going to even honor that ridiculous remark and give it dignity. But the colorism bullshit has got to stop. It's got to stop. It's not an argument here. We can't no, they don't. I ain't even the lightest skinned person on the show. And newsflash, I have never considered myself light skinned. I was today years old when I found out that I was light skinned. I'm not light skinned, but your bestie Kira says in the lounge, well, if he like white women, I'm the closest thing to a white woman here. And then she adds, I mean, personality wise, who compares themselves to a white woman as if that's an accomplishment to be white? That's not an accomplishment. That's not an accomplishment. Nobody's over here trying to be white. You are though, because you hate yourself. That's why you got a different name. That's why you talk like this and like talking like this. We get a couple of drinks in her, let it be late at night. All of that Valley Girl shit, it be gone. Real gone. Let me tell y'all something. Myself, Sierra, and Jessica were probably the only people that, for the women, I ain't gonna talk about the men, we'll deal with them another time, that showed up as our authentic selves. Because that's the only thing that is sustainable. Everybody else with their aliases, with their fake jobs, with all of this, like, Kira is not her first name. Bonquisha or something like that. You'll have to ask her. Habibi, his name is Travis. Like, stop. We're not gonna do it. No, she not. But we'll get to her later on in the season.
No, she ain't need to do the Bonquisha thing because that she ain't need to drop the Bonquisha thing. Now, of course, her name might not be Kira, it might be something else, but you didn't need to drop the Bonquisha because that's a stereotypical name, sis. You see, that's how they be saying things about you, sis. Just calm it down a little, calm it down a little. But I hear what you're saying. People are not being real about the way they're actually behaving and showing up. I'm not gonna be mad at that. And that's a fair point. I just need you to, hey, careful. Just that you was doing it, but you was going a little bit too careful. That's what I'm saying. But I hear what you're saying. So I'm hearing what you're saying.
Not legit. No. Guys, she bucks up, acts a fool. So when I say, are you getting up? I'm really shocked because one, she was sitting right across from me. So if you want it with me, don't take the long way around the coffee table. Probably just come right across. She was sitting directly across from me and took the long way around. And see, that's my problem with these women. You tell me to pull up to your house, and I pull up to your house, and then it's quiet. You tell me you about that life, and then you're right across from me, and you take the long way around the table.
No, I want to be real here. We are now addressing the cat situation. Let me put a banner out so you can see. We are now addressing the cat situation. Okay. We are now addressing the cat situation. It took us about half an hour, but we got there, and we're now addressing the cat situation. Okay. Let's be real. Let me be very real with you. Listen. Now she shouldn't be pulling up, but never asked me to pull up. I'm I mean, I personally wouldn't pull up. You tell me to pull up, I'm gonna say I'm not gonna pull up. But if you tell someone to pull up, you better be ready for them pulling up. Okay, all right. I'm just gonna tell you the truth. If you tell someone to pull up, you should be ready for them to pull up. Now, should she be pulling up? No, she's a grown-ass woman and she's supposed to be classy, sophisticated, and high maintenance. You shouldn't be pulling up people's yards. But if you tell someone to pull up, don't be crying about people pulling up yard. You cannot tell someone to pull up and then call them immature or you really are you're this and that if you pull up. Because if you tell them you pull up and they pull up, you know what I'm saying to you. I'm just saying to you, I cannot just talk about her behavior pulling up and saying, oh, she's bad for pulling up. No, don't tell me to pull up. You know what I'm saying to you? How old are you for telling the person to pull up? You know what I mean? How old are you to tell the person to come around the corner? And then when they come around the corner, oh, you actually came around the corner? Oh, you so immature. No. We don't do that here. Okay, we hold everybody accountable. Okay, don't tell someone to pull up because they they just might pull up. Okay, and if they pull up now you looking foolish. Now I'm gonna give a little bit of just realness in this situation. You're a punk if you say pull up and she pull up and you don't come and turn up. I'm gonna keep it real. I'm gonna just keep it as a real conversation. You are punks if you told someone to pull up, they pull up and you ain't show up. You a punk because you told them to pull up. That's just from what I know from when I lived on the ends or lived in the roads or lived on the lived in the say the hood, whatever you want to call it. That was a law. You don't tell someone to pull up and then they pull up and then you're running. That's pussy. You understand what I'm saying to you? Like, sorry my language there, but you can't be a pussy. Yeah, a poussoir. You can't. Don't do that. You know what I mean? Don't tell someone to pull up and then when they pull up, you run. If you're saying she's immature and too old to pull up, you need to be saying Kat is too old to be asking someone to pull up. Like, you have some common sense. We have to have a biased perspective here, an unbiased perspective here. You can't ask someone to pull up. Use a punk. Use a punk. If you tell someone to pull up and they pull up and you don't, you are. It's that simple. You know what I mean? Now, I don't think anyone should be pulling up. But no one should be asking anyone to pull up. Do you get what I'm saying to you? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So I'm not gonna hold it against Janelle for pulling up, because at the end of the day, why would you ask someone to pull up and then not pull up? You know what I mean? You're just saying fanciful words now. Come on.
Let me tell you something about me, y'all. God is still working on me. I ain't gonna make no mistakes about it. There are parts of my character that I need to work on, and part of that character is I still put my hands on people. I do, and I'm not proud of it all the time, but I do, which is why I really try to just stay out the way. But don't try me, because God's still working it out, and it ain't quite done. So until it gets done, I'd appreciate if you don't try me. If you don't want me to pull up, please don't ask me to pull up. Please. Y'all will see who the prostitutes are. Okay? Not the moo dress, slowed her down. Girl, see her? Okay? Stop, Red. Okay? We get through that lounge. Now we have to pull on. We got Leanne going, Habib then goes home. Like, listen.
Well, let's address this really quickly, because she just said that she still puts hands on people. Now, listen, she said it so we can address it. Well, what are we doing still putting hands on people at 40? Like, even at me at 32, I do everything to avoid any hand situation. The only hands I want to see is the hand of God and the hand of a woman. That's the only hands I ever want to see caress this body and caress this face. You understand what I'm saying to you? Yeah? The only thing I want to see caress this body is the hand of God and a beautiful woman. That's it. You understand? Other than that, I don't want a Negro's hands on me. Okay? I don't want that on me. Yeah? So at the end of the day, sis, I need you now to be aware, because you told us your God's still working on you, and you still put hands on people. I need you to be aware how that even translates, not just about putting hands on people, but clearly there's an anger there too as to why he gets to putting hands on people, right? See, having hands on people is about the discipline aspect, right? When people get into these fights and situation, if you know, you got to learn how to be disciplined at your age now. So this is a discipline issue. Where does that come from? Where is your frustration coming from that you have to put hands on somebody? Ask that question. Do you get me? So so Janelle, when you're telling us that, you know, I don't even telling us, but when you want us to have a different viewpoint of how you're on the show, I'm sorry, but I don't know how you can have that, because at the end of the day, you're telling us you pull up on people and you will put hands on people. Okay, not just pulling up. You said you'll put the hands on the paws on her. And you look like you got some nice nails on your hands as well, sis. I ain't gonna lie to you. Your hands look supple and soft. Look good. But you don't need to be putting hands on people. So again, that just tells us again once more, how am I supposed to read you differently on the show to what I'm seeing? Okay. All right. I'm trying to stay focused, but Janelle is fire. And I'm not gonna lie to you, the toxicity she's breathing right now is kind of sexy. Just a little bit sexy. When she said she won't pull up and she pulled up, whew, those hands look like they could massage the kinks out my back. Just saying, you know what I mean? But let me behave. Okay. She better pull up if I ask her to pull up.
What saying other things, because it's fact. These people are not like.
So then my question is this: are you really above them then? See, it goes back to a very original point at the very beginning. Listen, you said you are above these people. At what point are you above? If you're willing to put hands, I'm sure Tequila was ready to go too, right? And put hands. So are you really above them if you're willing to join in the mud and muck it out with them? No. How can you be above when you're willing to muck it up with the people you saying you're above? You're willing to go low when they go low. Right? Okay.
Y'all, the hardest thing about being a part of this process is how fake people really are. And I don't say that lightly, because to me it's foreign. I don't have people around that are like that. I don't have people who lie about their jobs. I don't have people who lie about owning gyms. I don't have that. I don't, my friend circle, we don't do that. It's literally foreign to me.
Who said they had a gym?
So when I experience it, I'm like, oh my God, like what is wrong with these people?
Who said they own
Why
the
are
gym?
you pretending? We're not, this is not that show. You're here to find love.
Who said they owned the gym? Wait, guys, who said they owned the gym, please? Who said they had owned the gym? Who are the people that said they own a gym? I'm just asking just to understand who she's shading at. You know, who that be? Tell me, please. Who owned the gym? Because I was shady. Man, oh man.
Before, when they first announced the show, that like, this was a worse experience for me. Production was horrible, quite honestly. Unprofessional. We filming for 16 hours, and I know y'all have heard this before, filming for 16 hours, no food.
That's
we get
true.
Call times at midnight for 10 o'clock the next morning.
That's very true.
And then let me just be clear.
I can't lie to you. This part is really mad. Can't lie to you. This part is really, really mad. Like 16 hours no food, that's crazy. Yeah, you better vote me out the first week. I'm not trying to be on this grueling schedule and not be eating. Oh, she's talking about Lee. Lord of mercy. So Lee's catching strays out here too. Lee, and someone said Leanne also too owned the gym. Oh, Leanne owned the gym. Leanne owned the gym. Leanne owned the gym earlier on. Okay. Whew. That's crazy, man. So she's shooting strays at Leanne too. I mean, I ain't gonna lie to you. Leanne was on Kendra. Anyway.
And and I say this very humbly. I am not a person who I don't just accept what you give me. Okay. For the other people, they have to accept what is given to them. I don't have to accept what you're not going to give me poor treatment, poor, accommodations, less than desirable accommodations, and I'm just supposed to take it. No, I'm going to speak up and say that is not acceptable. It's not acceptable how you're treating me. It's not acceptable how y'all are doing business. It's not acceptable. The end. It's not. And I'm not going to apologize for that. Let me give y'all an example. When we were at the mansion mixer, the hoedown, I was on the first day of my period. Okay. We out in bum F Egypt at this ranch that was lovely. The people were lovely, all of that. I'm outside. It's hot. I tell one of the producers, y'all gotta go to the bathroom. Producer tells me, oh, they got some porta potties. Who? She don't do that. Some of the cast members, they did that because that's what they do. I told him, I ain't never used a porta potty in my life. Today will not be that day. You're going to have to walk me into the house. And what did they do? Walk me into that house.
Now, one thing I've got to say about Janelle, first of all, she's looking good as well. I'm not going to lie to you. Just wanted to say that again once more. But, one thing I will say about Janelle, two things I should say. She ain't quitting the show. And two, she going to make sure she gets what's hers. Now, what I do like about Janelle, because she realized she had power in the situation. She knew that she had been casted into the show and they wanted her. Therefore, she had the power. So in this instance, if she's saying that there's a porta potty outside, she ain't going to do the porta potty. She's going to walk her into the house. What she's doing is initiating standards. And I think that's fair. I think, that there's a conversation to be had here about taking advantage of people's goodwill. Taking advantage of people's goodwill and taking advantage of people's good nature that we're not doing bare basics like food and it's nuts. I thought again, this is America, so in UK, you can't do that. You have to, there's a certain amount of hours that when you ask someone to work, you have to feed them. So it doesn't even make sense how they can get away with this particular behavior if they're not feeding people appropriately. Okay. All right. So just saying,
So from a production standpoint, I played no games either. So this whole mean girl, no, I'm a person who does not accept BS. Period. Don't hand me BS like I'm supposed to be grateful to be on this show. I don't work here. Could care less.
That's fair.
Don't give me raggedy food. Don't give me raggedy accommodations. Don't tell me to use no porta potty. I don't do that. That is my standard.
Now, just a quick question again. You said you was above the show. I want to know why you still stayed. I'm just saying. You said you was above the show, and I just want to know why you still stayed. Why did you stay? Because you said you're above the show. So I'm with you, and I'm all for fighting up your cause and saying you're not going to go to the porta potty. I'm with it, sis. Okay? The workers got to strike if they got to strike. But why are you still on the show? Because you said that you are above this show. Sis, you are above this show, and yet you're putting yourself in struggle and strife to be at a porta potty. Why would you want to stay on a show and be at a porta potty and having to fight production to get them to even get you into a toilet? It seems like a lot of hard work to stay on a show that you are above. The check ain't even checking. We know the check don't even... Listen, the amount of people that come off this show and tell us the check don't even check, it don't even make sense why you stay in. Tell us why you stay in. Because it don't make sense. Tell us why you staying, because the check don't even check. So what are you really staying for? Come on now, Janelle.
That I've built for myself. And I will not lower my standard of what I'm used to appease people that I am producing for. If that makes me a problem and allows production, because they're handling editing, to paint me as a mean girl, then I'll be that. But I'm the mean girl who don't use a porta potty. The end.
Nah, babe, that's not the only reason why you're a mean girl. You're a mean girl because your energy is mean. Let's just be honest, sis. You're gonna have to own that eventually. Like, just stop pretending that you're not mean. You are mean.
The end. I don't accept. That's right. I don't accept the bare minimum. And it wasn't even the bare minimum. We were not even getting the bare minimum. So much so, we had to have a meeting with the whole production team to say, hey guys, this is what's been happening. Haven't been feeding us. We sit here waiting 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 hours to get mic'd. Can we work together to produce a good product for you? The entire cast, sans the people who had already got sent home at that point. So let me be clear. Production already had a problem with me because they thought I put this grouping together, which I didn't. But hey, I'm the easy target. Fine, whatever. I'll be that. Just make sure you have food for me next time I show up. Y'all, the comments are hilarious. Okay? Here's what I want y'all to know. When you watch this show, watch it as entertainment. That's what it is. They pay us. It ain't shit, but they pay us. It didn't do shit for me, but they do pay us.
And so
you do get paid.
My point.
Nobody's doing. And here's the thing: you don't win anything. You should be really doing this show to find love, which is why I did the show.
Oh, but I thought you said you was above the show. So how did it get to a point where you said that you really was here for love? I'm just a little bit confused at this point. So you really doing this for love? I'm just trying to understand, because at the beginning you're telling us that you was above this show, but you was here for love. Okay. Okay. Okay.
I didn't need to be famous. I didn't need to be popular. I didn't need any extra money that they're giving here because it wasn't nothing to put it in nobody's situation. It's not life changing, and literally couldn't pay any of my bills. I did it because, one, I believed in the show. I believed in the process of the show. And so I wanted to do the show.
Wait, how do we believe in the process? Nah. Guys. I want to know who. I need people to, and I'm going to hold people accountable here. She's not the only one. Many people have done this. I need people to start being accountable. Why are we not researching, unless these people are lying to you about what show you're going on to? Okay, unless people are literally lying to you about what show you're going on to, which some shows do, let's be honest. I need you to be aware that there are 8 or 9 seasons. The moment you figure out you're on this season, you should be researching what are the what couples have come out of this show. You know, does the show have success? I'll be typing into Google, what's the bad things about the show?
I'm like, oh my God, this is one of my favorite shows. And if y'all see my previous post, I was like, I was so excited. I was a fan of this show. And at the earlier seasons, like, I felt like people were really, really finding love. And I had just gotten out of a breakup.
Now, Janelle, what did you just tell me? Baby, hold on. Let me go back.
Like, I was so excited. I was a fan of this show.
Eh?
And at the earlier seasons, like, I felt like people were really, really finding love.
Hold on.
Because one, I believed in the show. I believed in the process of the show. And so I wanted to do the show. I'm like, oh my God, this is one of my favorite shows. And if y'all see my previous post, I was like, I was so excited. I was a fan of this show. And at the earlier seasons, like, I felt like people were really, really finding love. And I had just gotten out of a breakup when we started the process in September.
Let me be honest with you, sis. Look. I'm not saying that you can't have multiple reasons to why you're on the show. Let's just pretend, but let's not pretend that you're on. Like, of course, partly you go on there for the part of the show, but partly people go on there because now we're in now 8 seasons in. We know that some people go on it because part of it's clout, and that's not a big. I'm not mad at it. It's part of it's clout because of course people got brands and stuff. But sis, if you're a fan of the show, then you know this show has produced 1 or 2 couples, if that.
So I'm like, oh my gosh, this is like the serendipitous moment where like I just got over a breakup. Now I'm getting an opportunity to be ready to love. I'm gonna find love. Like, okay, why did we continue to? We had a conversation with production and they tried to make some adjustments. I believe in the earlier seasons. These last couple seasons been a little touch and go. But here's also this. Like, when you become a part of this process, honestly, y'all, I have a newfound respect for people on reality TV. Y'all really have no idea what you're watching. The 47 minutes that y'all watch on TV cannot account for all of the conversations, cannot account for the things that they cut out. It doesn't account for any of it. Y'all are literally watching what they want you to see for entertainment. The end. Y'all been out here coming for people's looks, not mine, but other people's looks, people who I don't even like. That's not nice. Don't do that. These people are out here being vulnerable. These people are out here invulnerable, not in the process, but vulnerable, just putting themselves out there. Okay? So.
But what if we're just telling you the truth that, you don't look nice? Like you said earlier on, like you were just saying that Kira's bag was fake. It is what it is. So, well, what if we're just telling you that your makeup weren't on point and it was just us telling you what you needed to hear? Because maybe you didn't know your makeup weren't on point. Just like Kira didn't know her bag was fake. And you know what? I'm sure many ladies have been there because they've had a day where the makeup didn't slap. Right? It was just them telling you the truth. Of course it's not nice. The same way you're deep in it, it's not nice for you. It's not nice for you to say this about your castmates. You get what I'm saying to you? It's not nice to say things about your castmates. Just like you realize it's not nice about us saying things about people's looks in the public sphere. It's not nice for you to be saying things about your castmates and saying stuff like that, babe. It's not. Deep it. That's the whole point.
Give everybody
45 minutes in, guys.
And try to understand that what you're actually seeing.
Where's the part she addresses cat? Okay, hold on. I'm gonna fast forward this a little bit. I want to get the part where I'll have to come back later on. But let's
move back to Dallas. I can live anywhere. And so that's why I ended up moving back to Dallas. So that's.
I want to see if she actually addresses this issue.
Sierra and I collab all the time. I love Sierra. Love your hair. Thank you so much. I asked for that conversation to happen. And that was what was going to be needed if they wanted me to be a part of it. That conversation did not happen. And so I was not able to be a part. I decided not to be a part of it. The end. She works at one. She does not own one. She works between 3.
Okay, hold on. I feel like I caught something. Wait, hold on.
I didn't feel like it was right to attack a man and his situation, wherever it may be, simply because he don't talk to you. Because that is what was happening. Anytime a guy maybe like pulled back from a girl or decided he didn't like her no more or wanted to wanted to explore another option. What's up, Marie? Then it became, well, he this and he that, and he ain't got no money, and he did his kids, and he had an ex-wife. Like it was all of that. It's like, you can't do that. Like you can't. There's one point in our cash trip where I'm like, exactly at what point are we going to protect each other? Because even if we're not connections, we should have a mutual respect for one another. That mutual respect does not exist. And for everybody talking about us having a separate premiere party, there was multiple reasons why we had a separate premiere party. One, this cast does not have a mutual respect for one another. And it is not a good idea for people who have a mutual respect, who don't have a mutual respect for one another, to come into a situation where we're super vulnerable because we're about to watch something on TV for the very first time. And oh, Jesus Christ, y'all, it's so simple. I protect the men. I'm not them. Okay, girl. You got your 5 minutes of fame. Congratulations.
Y'all get Monique off Instagram. She's supposed to be in our chat. She over there chatting with making this girl agitated. That was Monique who made that comment talking about something.
I didn't think it was a good idea, but like you're in a room, you're watching something vulnerable, you're gonna have like visceral reactions to it, and then your people are in the room. I didn't think that that was a good idea because my people are like me. They're gonna pull up. They're not gonna talk. They're not gonna play the games. They're not gonna deal with the smart remarks. They're not gonna do any of that. They're going to respond when disrespect takes place. And I didn't think it was a good idea for everybody to be in a room when we cannot have a code of conduct that says, hey guys, we're going to do this event together. But if we do this event together, we're not going to disrespect one another. We're not going to have reactions when stuff comes on TV. We're not going to make underhanded comments. I asked for that conversation to happen. And that was what was going to be needed if they wanted me to be a part of it. That conversation did not happen. And so
that sounds like a you problem. That don't sound like a them problem. That sounds like a you problem. That sounds like you're saying basically that your people pull up. I don't think you heard what you said. You said your people pull up at the slight of situation. So I'm not saying that the other people are not a problem. I'm just saying, but it does sound like, sister, your people are a bit more of a problem because you're saying your people pull up. Just saying. You're saying your people kind of pull up. You know what I mean? So
I was not able to be a part. I decided not to be a part of it. The end. She works at one. She does not own one. She works between three.
I think she answered a mid-spa conversation.
I showed up to people's houses to fight because they told me to pull up. So pull up. I pulled up. The end. Hey, hey, bud. But entrepreneur is fine. I have other brands. I could have. I was willing to run that risk.
Why was you willing to run a risk of losing brands simply to pull up at someone's house, Janelle? I need you to understand the gravitas of what you actually.
I'm not afraid. Sorry. I wish I was. I wish I was more grounded where if somebody doesn't poke me, I don't respond. I'm not there yet with something I'm working on. I understand this is Texas. I understand the dangers, but I'm not fearful of them. It is what it is.
This sis out here is moving mad. She don't care about the consequences.
Address what I said.
What
did you say?
Oh,
girl, bye. But BB disrespected you and Sassy Red was too. What? Oh God. Not go away from us. Oh.
Let's speed up a little bit.
People really know me. No, I don't play. Because I don't make idle threats. I don't talk breezy to people unless I want to fight them. Because I know I fight. The end. I don't play with people. Where I'm from, you do not tell somebody, you don't talk breezy to them and then be shocked and appalled and aloof when they show up. Who raised y'all? I don't play like that. If I don't want to fight nobody, I don't tell them to come to my house. Stop being stupid. Nobody is too old for that. I'm not. I'm working on it. Don't make me no mistake about it. I get it. I shouldn't be fighting over that. But I'm at my breaking point with these ridiculous ass people. I'm at my point. Because what y'all don't understand is like, I've been dealing with these people since March. Since March, with all the ridiculous. Everything I told you, I posted a thing. Everything's my fault. When the dudes don't like you, it's my fault. There's a girl on here that had one-on-one dates with 7 of the guys. No one picks her. And at the reunion, it's my fault because one of my connections didn't like her. It's my fault. You have more one-on-one dates than anybody on this cast. Nobody picked you, and it's my fault that the dude I like don't like you. Okay, that makes sense. I'm at my max. If you don't want me to pull up, please don't tell me. Do you feel like some women were threatened because you're beautiful, full-figure women that had attention? Here's what I do think. I think, here's what I think. I think that 80% of this cast do not have a healthy relationship with the truth. I think that people came in here thinking that they were just gonna twirl around and everybody was gonna be falling at their feet. And that was not the case. I think that in their little small circles, they the baddest bitch. So then they thought they'd come over here and be bad too. That was not the case. That wasn't the case because I feel like with this process, I think, this is just my opinion, I think what came across was the men were trying to do something different. They're like, okay, let me not maybe pick the girl who I always gravitate to because that hasn't worked well for me in the past. Let me try to find a woman who I really could connect with in a very real way. Because at the end of the day, when we're talking about real grown-up relationships, when we're talking about candidates for marriage, you have to be honest with yourself about some of your dating history that you've done that hasn't worked well for you. Like there's things that we like in like men or women, and that stuff isn't always the best things for us. So I really felt like everybody, a lot of the people, especially the guys, I feel, this is just my opinion, just from the conversations I had, were really trying to like find someone who they could really take home to their mom. Because they didn't took the hoes home to their mom before and it didn't go over well. So they wanted to do something a little different. Or at least try to take this serious. Like, can I really find love with someone here? That is what I think. I think that they were taken aback that men were gravitating to me the way they were. Because in their small little minds, I'm older, I'm heavier. The men surely wouldn't like me, but I got a fucking personality and a beat face. So there's that. There's that.
My issue is I didn't hear any of the other girls get so far. We're 5 episodes in. My issue is we're not hearing any other women talk about the men wanting Janelle. I think this is why I think this is an issue that I'm talking about, right? About Janelle. No one else is really saying. None of the other ladies are coming out and saying anything about the guys liking Janelle, apart from Tequila. She's the only one that said something. Now, I don't know if anyone's been saying stuff behind the scenes and we're not seeing it, but no one's really saying anything about Tequila. I mean, about Janelle and the fact that men are necessarily liking her. So I don't know. It's you know, and maybe it happens later on, but you know, I don't know. It's you know, let me just say this now. Listen, and here's the thing. We must always qualify what men want, what men like, and what men need. Okay, all right. And look, there are always going to be foolish men that will make foolish decisions. But let me be very, very clear with you. I make these jokes about, you know, how sexy Janelle is because she really is. A little bit of toxicity definitely helps. But that's what I like. I know what I need, and that ain't what I need. And that's what a lot of men don't need either. See, a lot of men will deal with the toxicity, and there are men that will happily play with the toxicity, but they ain't trying to stay in the toxicity. They're not trying to marry the toxicity. Now, there can be those men that will marry the toxicity. But right now, what I'm seeing is somebody that is giving this particular energy. Men won't stay around. Oh, they will always come because Janelle's a baddie. You understand? Just baddie. But will they stick around? Now, can you catch a sucker? Yeah, you can. But the reality of the situation is the difficulty is that they won't stick around because they don't want to be entwined with the madness that you bring to the doorstep. You know? It's very difficult to keep those kind of men around. Now, can there be a person that will like it for that? Of course. There are always exceptions to the rule. I'm not going to lie. There are always exceptions to the rule. Someone always breaks the rules, of course. But you just look at the way people are and you just see the way that things are happening and you'll realize, yeah, a lot of people, they don't stick around long. Okay, they don't stick around long. Most people whose situation like this, they don't stick around long, or they have to deal with other men who are just as toxic, which is not beneficial to anybody. You know what I mean? I would like her if I was on the show too myself.
You think everything is hot, girl. Thanks for watching. That's what I think. I think that they were surprised because in their bubble of life, they're a bad chick. So they expect it to be a bad chick over here, and it just wasn't landing. And it wasn't landing just because I think a lot of people tried to have a different perspective about like what they wanted to do in this process. Also, we're on TV, so ain't nobody want to be shamed about who they're picking because people gonna see it. Which I won't tell you what. I'm gonna hold that information because they keep playing with me. Y'all gonna find out which nigga has a boyfriend. And here's the thing with that.
Ooh, not which nigga got a boyfriend, child.
One,
What?
you're already out if you're twirling around pride. So I can't out you because you already out. Everybody knows you, whatever. But the bigger issue is you are on a show and you took a turn away from somebody who could have really found love.
Ooh. Now, who got a boyfriend? I'm not above trying to find out who that is. Who got a boyfriend? And see, I don't want her to drop that and not say nothing. Because why are we saying that? You know what I mean? Like, that's like playing pull up. And then when I pull up, you don't want me to pull up. That you can't do that. You got to tell us who's got a boyfriend. Who the man that got a boyfriend? You know? Who's the man that got a boyfriend? Who that? Okay? All right. I want to know.
So if you like men, that's your thing, that's cool. But you, one, got to say it. And two, it's a little unfair because you took someone's turn away. There was some guy who was great, who they chose over you, but you're not over here being truthful. That's the problem with it. If you want to be gay, be gay. But also, one, tell us. And then two, do it with some sort of transparency so women can choose.
Damn. Someone's going to catch a stray now, boy.
That's all. But you keep talking breezy about me.
Who's talking breezy about her? No, someone keeps talking breezy about her. So who's talking breezy about her?
What real tea do you want? I'm not here to give you tea. I'm here to give you some perspective. That is what I'm here. Because I'm tired of the ridiculous narrative. I am. Here's what I will say.
Oh, Chris talked about her. Wait, when did Chris talk about her? Wait, hold on. When did Chris talk about her? When did Chris talk about her? I want to know when he spoke about her. Is that because he had a beef with Jessica? Now it's making sense because he has a beef with Jessica on the show, right? A little bit later on, you know. But I'm saying, when did he talk about her? Oh, he talked about her in the interview. Oh, what he say? What he say? And then Chris also reposted what Kat was. Oh. And he had a pic of him at Pride. Oh, it's all going down. So she was coming at Chris. Oh, now let me be very real here. Okay. I don't like if you are gay and you're on the show and you're taking up space. That's all I'm going to say. If you know you're gay and you're on the show, I need you not to take up space. That for me, is just a piss take. I don't like that. You know what I mean? Yeah, I don't rate that. So whoever the person is, that ain't it. I'm not about it. I don't like that kind of stuff. I don't think it's appropriate. You know what I mean? Like, you know where you're supposed to be. It ain't on the show. Now, I don't know if Chris is or not, but that's who she's shooting her shot. That's where she's shooting her shots to. If that's the case, I'm not sure. I'm going by what you guys are saying as well. So, damn. Just catching strays like that is a bit wild to me still. Ay. That's a bit mad still. Can't lie to you.
Oh my God. I showed up as my authentic self to a fault. I showed up as my authentic self because I don't play pretend. I don't know how to do that. They are missing in these comments. They are messing with these comments. Like, but I get it. It's fine. Whatever. I am myself to a fault. But people who really know me know that I don't start mess. I don't, and the reason why I don't start mess is because I unfortunately, I get physical. I do. And it's something I need to work on. It's not my favorite part about myself. And I'm still working on my temper and my responses. And so I don't like when people play with me. I don't like when people lie to me. Here's the thing. I don't care if you don't like me. Your fear is you cannot like me. You can all of these things. It's fine. That's fine. I don't care about that. On both days I got paid. It's totally fine. But what I would appreciate is people don't lie on me and people try to attack my character, my family, or my friends. That's it. Don't do that. Because I don't do that to you. Who is asking to be on? Why are y'all asking to be on? Whatever. This is the most ridiculous thing. This is a dating show. And we're sitting here have these conversations. What y'all need to be asking is why so many people have smoked for me on a dating show. Why do women have so much problem with me on a dating show, yet have no connections? That's the question. That's the question that's on the table.
That's a key question.
Re-engineer your focus.
That's a good question. Why do they have so much smoke for you? That's a good question. I think you need to ask yourself. Why are they smoking you specifically? What is the issue? Why are you being dragged into everybody's situation? Because you're being painted as a mean person, babe.
How is it that with 10 guys, you have a problem with her, but don't have no connection? Because y'all still over here in the comments like, who's such and such connection? I don't really see no real connection. But you see a real connection with me. Because I went on the show to find love.
What Chris say about her in his live with Crystal that she thinks that he is
Ask that.
bi or gay?
Every time you do interviews with people, it should start with who is your connection and who are you still talking to? That's a question. We're on a dating show. This ain't Love and Hip Hop. This ain't, the storyline is not our lives. It's not. It should be about dating. Of course. Moda, of course.
At what point will Janelle say, how many people do we need to say about your behavior before you realize you're the problem? Can we ask that question? That's the question we need to be asking. How many, and we do this every season. Zadia did it at one point. We had this, a few other people too. At what point will you say that everybody is seeing the same thing? That if everyone keeps saying the same thing, that you are a problem, why is it that you don't see that this is a problem? Why don't you see that many people are evidence, and that means that you are the issue? You're saying that everyone has an issue with you and all the ladies have an issue with you. Why? Self-reviewing, self-introspection. Come on, darling. Needs to be done.
And it shouldn't have been. I shouldn't have been a threat if guys started liking me. It's a process. I wasn't fazed about guys liking me. It's a process. You have to go through it. You have to date everybody. You got to talk to everybody. You got to gather the data to make sure you're picking the right person. It shouldn't be a threat. I wasn't threatened. It's not going to look like that because they're trying to paint y'all a story with drama, which I wish they really wouldn't do. I was never in danger of losing any of my connections. None of them. None.
Damn.
And if y'all watch, my top connections were the same from start to my finish. Every week, y'all finna hear different people's names come out through people's mouth. You know why? Because they don't have real connections. No, I haven't had issues with, what'd you say, baby? Oh, I lost your...
She done got me hungry.
No, Habib didn't drop his pen, ho. Did I show up to Habib? Shut up. So dumb. Issue before dating women. Have I had this issue before dating women throwing shade? Not really. Not to my knowledge. The beauty is you actually do get to like see people, compare and contrast who you like, who you don't like, what they're doing, what they're not doing, what you feel, what you feel for them, what you don't feel for them. And, it's, you get to see it. When you're dating regularly, you don't get to see.
Oh, Lord, girl.
So it's not, It's nothing that I've ever experienced before. But this is the show. Everybody wants their 5 minutes of fame. Everybody wants to be the big Barbie. Everybody wants to be that girl. Everybody wants to be chosen. Everybody wants, you know, to feel like they're the most popular. So yeah, there's going to be shade. There's going to be this. There's going to be that, because we're also in an experience that we've never been in before. All they need is aesthetics.
Speed up a little bit.
Okay.
Monique,
that's fine, Moda, but you've said some stuff about me directly. It's cool. We can deal with it, but you've said some stuff about me directly. I don't care about you guys reviewing the show. You can review the show, but review the show. Don't draw conclusions about things that you really are not privy to.
Man, I hope you already know me. Every season they try to bring me into something. You already know every time they drag me into something. But I think I'll be cool this year. I think I'll be cool. They usually get me every season. You know, someone will be like, "You did this," and I'll be like, "Well, listen, hey, we can discuss this, but I only talk about behavior. I don't care if it's never about liking you or disliking you. It's simply about behavior." So, you know what I mean? They can come for me, but you know, whenever they come for me, my thing is, I'm not beefing you on whether we like you or not. My thing is, it's about behavior, and you have to explain your behavior. We can argue all day, but you're going to have to explain your behavior. You can't run from this one. You can run. You can't hide, because we're going to find you because your behavior is on the screen. So we can argue back and forth every day, and you can say whatever you say. And it happens to me every season. I get people that enter my DMs like, "I don't believe you said that." Hey. We're looking at the behavior we see on the screen. Now, if you disagree with the behavior, we can say it. But you know, listen, we're gonna go by what we saw on the screen. So luckily so far, I don't think I'm being dragged into this situation. And thank God, you know, for once, it's nice to be on the outside and just do my reviews and feel no way about it. You know what I mean? Okay. You know, someone said if me kissing her ass a little bit. I mean, she hasn't brought her ass out to kiss yet. You know what I mean? So, you know, but what I do in the bedroom, I do in the bedroom. Okay, guys, don't be talking about what I do. Okay. All right. You know, so.
And then getting one side. Review the show. Have at it. Ain't nobody faulting y'all for reviewing the show. Review the show, but that's not exactly what's been going on. And that's fine. I could care less. But when I call you out on it, don't be like, "Oh my God, why are you saying that? Is that for me?" You suffer from the same thing these women suffer from. You say something or you do something, and then when I say, "Hey, you did that," it's like, "Oh my God, what? Huh? Stop." It's silly. You said a slick comment in Kamisha's comments about me. Talking about we don't know you, you giving out weird vibes. No, you do know me because you watch me every week. Stop playing with me.
Ooh, child.
Okay, Amber.
Ah, damn. She said the bloggers are getting the shots. I
got to pull a video and a post between her and
Kat. All of this for a dating show, y'all.
After this
dating show. This is not a docuseries.
Needs to give us that pull-up video.
This is not a docuseries. Not a docuseries where you follow people around in their life, like Real Housewives of Atlanta, Love Hip Hop. Those are docuseries where you're following people's lives. So when things come up, when shade comes up, when scenarios comes up, when fights happen, that's what that is for. We are here on a dating show talking about women's issues with other women. Do one of these men like you? Yes or no? That's the only thing you need to be worried about. Okay. Whatever. Blame it on me. Say it's my fault. As long as it's over, you going home. It's fine.
Oh, that was spicy.
That's right. I'm not light. Not light. Don't want to be light. Love my complexion. Ain't nobody choosing me because I'm light. I'm not light.
Janelle, you're kind of light. Okay, you're kind of light. Just gonna say it straight. Janelle is kind of light. Okay, all right. I don't know what she's saying, but for me, Janelle is kind of light. That's the kind of that she is a little light. Just saying.
I'm not light skinned. Would you do reality TV again? I sure will. Yeah, will do. Sierra's fashions are on fire. No, Tequila and I did not reconcile because she continued on with the narrative, which is fine. It's her thing to continue, you know, whatever. You on the light skin spectrum. Thank you, Lakeisha.
So
listen,
I don't know about you guys, but for me, she's light. So
by doing a dating show, that I would have to deal with these type of issues. I can understand if I was doing a docuseries. I can understand if I was on Housewives Atlanta, Dallas, something like that. Then okay, you're gonna have the beef, and the beef is part of the story. But that is not what I thought that I was getting. Even though I saw the little banter, that business is gonna perform. Relationships don't always perform. You gotta put a lot into them. You don't know how they're gonna go. I'm
gonna speed up, guys, because this is ain't
which instinctively I don't do. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna focus on this.
Okay.
Being able to have something to share something with, like some good news or something, and have somebody to call, have a man to call, or that we need to work on. It's so fine. I promise. Just enjoy the show. That's all. That really helped conversation. The reason why y'all see me having conversations with the men the way I do is because I was vulnerable. And so in that, they reciprocated that vulnerability with being vulnerable. So we're having nice and cool conversations, and it's just flowing because I really tried my best to do that, to be vulnerable in that moment. And that's not something I typically do in relationships. You know, I
can see
and that. Production is like, cut. Can you say it again? You say it again, and they're like, cut. Let's reposition the cameras. Can you say it one more time? And you're like, well, at this point, it ain't even authentic anymore. I don't even feel that way anymore. Like that's with the type of stuff that we were dealing with.
All right, I'm gonna leave this now. So I think there's nothing else left to extend this. I don't think there's any.
Not a threat. Wasn't worried. Okay, but we all greeted her outside, like, hey,
okay, here it is. Here it is, guys.
You know, whatever.
Hold on, here it is. Hold on, wait, hold on.
Dating her because they showed it with me, and mine was really quick, so it wasn't like they didn't harp on it because I didn't do it. And they show Unique kind of being like. And in the previous scene, or I think maybe the last episode, they did it with Kira and Jessica. And, you know, I wasn't at that scene with Kira and Jessica, so I can't speak to that. But for our scene, when we were meeting with Tommy for our little meetup, we met Kat outside before we walked in there. Y'all, we had to huddle up outside to walk into a spot. So we met Kat outside. Everybody said hello. Everybody was like, hi, welcome, what's up, whatever. She's not a threat, y'all. She's not a threat. Well, nobody worried. Maybe Unique, because that's what you said in her interview, but I wouldn't. Like, and just as a woman, you can't be worried, because if a woman can come and get your man's attention, or someone you're interested in attention, then she's earned the attention. Then you know what type of man you're dealing with, and you move on. So no harm, no foul. But to me, she was not a threat. Like, not a threat. Wasn't worried. Okay. But we all greeted her outside, like, hey, how are you? Welcome. You know, whatever. So I had posted a tweet, and I was like, hey guys, before you start, everyone. Now I'm taking it for people who I don't even rock with. Because I said everyone. Everyone welcomed her with open arms. And they did. The shade that they tried to show, that didn't happen, y'all. Sometimes when they're showing our facial expressions, it's not in that moment, but it is used to be part of the pushing along, okay? That did not happen. Everybody was like, hey, and I hate that they did that to us. Because for why? Why are you doing that to us? For drama, for entertainment. I just got your text. For drama, for entertainment. Like, it doesn't serve purpose. So I just said everyone greeted her with smiles or whatever I said. It's on the first slide, child. She then posted, I didn't hear a peep from you. You all cap or something. Like, why are you coming for me? Like, that wasn't even something that you had to respond to. I said all of the women said hello to you, and then you're attacking me, talking about you didn't hear a peep from me. But I want you to understand, Kat's energy for me, y'all gonna see that play out. She's bothered. She is bothered by me for whatever reason. Y'all don't have to ask her. Maybe it's, never mind. I'm gonna pull it back. I don't want to ruin the show for y'all. Okay. Don't know why. That would be a question for her. I think that she had interest in Quentin, and I don't know that it was reciprocated. I don't know. And so it became my problem somehow, and they perpetuate this throughout the season. Okay. But Kat likes to talk slick. Kat always has a battery in her back. But yet when you tell somebody to pull up and they pull up, you don't come downstairs. But whatever. Okay. She always has a battery in her back for me. Y'all are going to see it at the reunion. Always. So bothered. And again, the question is, who are your connections? Who like you? Who like you though? That's the question's going to always go back there. That's where it's going to live and die. Who likes you? Okay. So she posted that today, did not at me. Now, I don't really know how to work Twitter. I ain't gonna hold y'all. So when I saw that it was a tweet. When I went to go look for the tweet, I couldn't find the tweet. And I don't know if it's because she has a new account. This is not shade. I don't know if it's because she has a new account and may not be verified yet. But like she has a new account. So maybe they didn't show it in like my replies or whatever. But I went to go look for it because somebody sent it to me because I don't follow any of these Dusties. Yet they all be all in my stories, y'all. Men and women be all in my stories. Why are you over here? All of my stories, all of my page, like and post, but I don't follow her, so I wouldn't have seen it. Someone sent it to me because then she posted it on her Instagram, okay? And honestly, her energy towards me was a incredible buildup because she has had the battery in her back, talking slick, talking breezy, but I just saw Kat though. Sarah, you still here? What was that, 2 weeks ago? Just saw Kat. Kat didn't come over to me. She walked in with her synthetic wig and she walked back out. But she keeps the battery in her back. I don't know why. I'm going to assume because she liked who I liked. That's all I can come up with. Y'all going to see it play out. And it's not going to be pretty. It's not going to be good. But it is what it is. So that is where, thank you. That is where all of that came from today. Honestly, I hit my max. Like I take a lot of stuff, and then I just explode. It was just go. It was just go. Sorry, not proud of myself, not my finest hour, but I don't stop playing with me. Stop playing with me. Stop doing interviews about me. Why is everybody talking about me and not talking about their connections? It's weird.
No.
These people are weird.
No, Janelle. No. They're talking about you because you're a problem. And I have to just actually be real about it. Like this is probably going to get her to come after me and I don't really care. You are a problem. Your behavior is the problem. And whenever you impact people's lives, they're going to talk about you. This is just natural. Okay. Now, maybe you're enjoying it and maybe you're even just joking around saying people are talking about you is weird. It's not weird because you've been showing up in a very particular way with people. You have not been nice and you have not been considerate of those people and their feelings. Okay. All right. And you believe that you have every right to behave this way. And you have to understand that because you've been behaving this way, you have impacted others. And as you've impacted them, they are now responding in different lives and different things and stuff like that, saying, hey, look, this is what she did. She's a problem here. She does this, she does that. That's the issue. It's not that they're not just speaking out of turn. They're not just speaking out of some craziness. They're speaking because they're like, no, and they're being asked questions because you are showing up on the show in the first 5 or so episodes that you are a problem. That's it. Okay? They're going to talk about you some more because you just mentioned that someone's gay, so someone's going to have to mention it. Someone's going to have to talk about it. Okay, they're going to talk about you some more because you decide to address this in a 2-hour live, talking about various different things, about Own, about Kat, about some of your other castmates. They're going to talk about you some more. Don't feel that they're not going to talk about you. You should know they're going to talk about you because you've been mentioning stuff.
Talk about your connections. Don't you think that with all of these blogger interviews, people should be talking about the people that they match with and what their experience was like? No, they're talking about me. So when I say prior to the show airing that these people are obsessed with me, they're obsessed with me. It's
They're not
weird.
obsessed with you. They're not obsessed with you. I need you to understand something because you have to also understand how also our algorithm works in life. Drama sells, and you downright know that, Janelle. Stop that. I need you to stop the cap immediately. I don't subscribe to this nonsense, and you know it's nonsense, right? You know you have become the very thing that has now become a catalyst for views, right? You are PR, you know exactly how it works. Stop pretending. Okay, you like this. Like I'm not a kid. Like, you know what I mean? Like, stop pretending as if you don't know what's happening and you don't know why they're talking about you, and the fact that they're gonna talk about you some more. You know it. You're enjoying it. You're dropping up. You know when you say like, I don't know why everyone's like, you know when people do that thing like, I don't know why everyone's talking about me. Like, oh my god, like everyone's talking about my show. Like everyone's talking about what I did last week. Like, oh my gosh, like why is everyone talking about me? You know exactly what they're doing. You're doing that silly thing where you're it's fake humble. It's like, oh, I don't know why everyone, like you're playing dumb. It's not gonna work here. You know exactly why you did what you did. You are a PR, so let's not pretend. Yeah, let's not pretend. Okay, all right. Save that for the acting classes. We don't need that. Okay, all right. Yeah, we don't need that.
I ain't got a cap. Like it's weird. But everybody loves the salacious drama instead of like, let's get to it. Who liked you though? Girl, whatever. Because it's the Janelle show. That's what they made it. Production included. I didn't want that shit. I didn't need that shit. I came to find love. When was the show finale? How much time has passed? We finished filming the end of April.
You know what? Someone said it there is that it does remind me of the Camille situation. It's very similar. It's very similar to where Camille's like, I don't know why they keep talking about it. They keep talking about you because you keep doing stuff. Okay? Because you keep doing stuff. Like, you stop doing stuff and they'll stop talking about you. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, it's that simple. It's like Camille was doing the exact same thing. It's like, why the castmates keep talking about me? Can't they focus on their own thing? They're talking about you because you keep doing stuff. You know, you keep doing stuff, they're gonna keep talking about you.
We filmed the reunion June 9th.
Oh, they already filmed the reunion 2 months
done.
ago. I wish I could bring up the receipts thing because
show been finished.
Let me see if I can send it to myself because it's not allowing me to.
Do you think they feel you sabotage their connection so they're upset? I can't sabotage a connection. I don't know. I can't sabotage a connection. These are grown men. They just weren't checking for you. You know why? Because you're not that great. Can't sabotage it. Like, y'all, we got to stop that. If you like a man and you're talking to a man and he decides that he don't want to talk to you no more, that's that man's choice. That's it. That's the man's choice. It's not a... And if another woman can pull, and I'm not talking about the show, I'm just talking about in general terms, because I feel like y'all got this weird narrative. I don't want a man who takes up like another woman has his attention. And it's like no heat, no judgment. I just know I move differently. I don't go attack the woman for getting his attention. It's not her fault. No, I said the thing about the fake purse because the purse was fake. Did I have to say that? No, but I really didn't think our mics were on because we were walking out of the scene. But like I said, she compared herself to me the day before, and I didn't like that. Don't compare yourself to me. We're not the same.
See what I said about this? She doesn't like to be compared the same. Told you.
To me, they seem insecure. Thank you. Listen, I don't like to call other women insecure, but I think we're just experiencing a series of unfortunate events. And everybody's in their feelings. Everybody knows this is going to be on TV. Everybody's worrying about how they're going to show up. Girl, ain't no two beautiful women. It's only like, stop. Y'all really be throwing this gorgeous word around and stop. Like, no, like, stop.
Janelle.
I think we just experienced a series of unfortunate events. Everybody.
Humility is a beautiful thing.
I don't know for why. This ain't the damn Bachelor. Like, who?
The reality is that she has too many enablers.
I don't care. I can be
guys
that
and
because
girls.
I know what's real and I know.
You can almost guarantee there are too many men in her DMs for her to actually be self-introspective. and she has a lot of girlfriends who are going to back her up and say what they're saying. But let me keep it real and keep it bucks. I want to read the tweets. I wish I could have showed you guys on screen, but it's not allowing me to see it, so I can't bring it up. I want to, but it's not allowing me to do it on the screen for some reason. The internet's not going to where I need it to go. But well, I'll give you the tweets that were being said by Janelle and Kat. Let me see actually if we can do a different way. Maybe it came up on Twitter and see if I can do that way. But there were some tweets that were coming up on the show, off the show, and Janelle and our good sis Kat got into a beef, and it was just crazy because they were literally atting each other on the show on the internet. Now, honestly, if I'm honest with you, listen, we've seen this kind of thing before where it gets madness, where you're kind of the thing becomes offline, the beef, and it becomes an issue. But to see some of the energy that's being shed right now, political. That's what I can say. Political. I can't even see on there. So let me just let me put it on my own. Let me read it out to you guys, because clearly it'll not be working. Okay, so let me read it to you guys. Oh, my phone stopped playing with me. Here we go. All right, cool. So I'm going to read out some of the tweets that was happening, and hopefully. So there was a post by our good sis Island Barbie. In fact, she actually puts out. Hold on, I was on her page a minute ago. She had I want to see what her post was, because she had something. I wonder if it was still up. It's gone down now. She had a post, I think, she reposted to Quilla on her page, but that's gone. Okay, so there was a post, obviously, by thingy. I don't know if you can see it. Don't know if you can see it there. So it says, "I'm not the 1 or 2 or 3, baby. You can't sit with me on your best day. Everyone knows you are a scammer from the Atlanta. Oh my days. Trying to be a bad girl, a mean girl in your 40s is wild. Lol. Selling shirts with your broke ass. Stop playing with me on Beyonce's internet. Criminal, go and get some legal." Hashtag. Okay, cool. So then that was what was said, right? That was being said. Okay, so listen, and then let me bring you another one, because obviously I cannot show you because my internet on the internet says you. So she puts a post out saying, "You probably couldn't hear us well, Island, but hold on. Let me be smarter than this. So it says here, can you see it, guys? Hold on. Okay, because you were too busy, frantic that you couldn't have. This thing. Wait, I need to make it brighter. Yeah. Shut up. No, I don't want it on. Get off. Okay. There we go. It says, or maybe it says, you were too busy frantic that you couldn't have the heavy filter on with you at the restaurant, or maybe because you're on the phone with one of your free Medipass you work for getting fired again, or maybe just maybe that synthetic $10 wig. $10 wig was too tight. I don't know, but we're all nice. You're the cap queen, garbage Barbie. You forever bothered by me. Go and get an oil change for your 89 Corolla ho. Stop playing with me. And this was obviously started by this tweet. It says here, "Narciss, I didn't hear Pete from you. Stop the cap." It says, "Before y'all start, hey. Before y'all start, we met Kat outside the restaurant before walking in. Everyone were welcome to her with smiles and hugs. Don't let it ready to love for you. Okay? All right. Let's bring this to your attention. Evidence again. Hold on. This thing's here. Okay. All right, cool. There we go. So it's in red. You can't really see. Why is it? You can't see anything. I'm gonna have to read the red one. Listen, the red one's a bit deep. It's a bit difficult to read the red one, isn't it? I'll read it. So the red one says, I get it. Island Barbie says, this is Janelle. She's tagging her. Says, I get it. It's exciting to get a lease vehicle when you've never had anything. Posting a car on IG like it's an accomplishment. You work 3 Medispa injection BGs. When you're not injecting yourself, you need a car. Spend all that time on your back in the relationship and didn't even leave with so much as a bus pass. Oh, just a matted wig and a face filter. Now this part is just this is just fighting, you know. And then she goes and says, I did at you, but you didn't at me. Post that breakdown ass gold Corolla you had with the Arizona tags. I take Uber Black B because I want to. I don't need a car. I could buy the rights to your broke down ass life. You're still at the circ. I'm pulling up. Wake up. Oh, I'm sure you just rolled over from servicing one of your Johns. Okay, so she's calling Kat the hoe and calling her the prosy. Okay, she's calling Kat the hoes and the prosy. Okay, literally. Why? Because of car, you know. Okay. And then Janelle posts this. Haven't heard from the ops. Yeah. I'll be determined, Negro. You know who I am. And then she goes on to at Janelle and says, lol, you could never sit at my table, baby. You are insecure as F. I gave you 5 minutes. Your next comment needs to be person, pull up, valet, or hold on. Or wait, you don't have a car. I'll tell concierge to let you up. Now, here's what I'm saying. When someone says pull up and you don't want to pull up, I'm going to look at you like you a pussy. Because you cannot ask someone to pull up and tell the concierge to pull up, a concierge to let them up, and know that you ain't going to let them pull up. You know what I mean? You can't be talking about, next thing needs to be in person, and then playing a song lyric about haven't heard from the ops, yeah, but then not following through. Okay, it's not cute. Okay, and then Island Girl again puts this on and says, hold on. Says, oh baby, so I know it's real. That little truthful tweet made you big mad. Your insecurities. Hold on. Oh, that's it. Your insecurities keep shining bright. I'm a nurse, baby. I own a med spa. I don't have to work, and you know that. Last time I checked, you're scamming us. Hey. Last time I checked, your scamming ass didn't have a car, Ubering around Dallas from date to date. If I were you, I would lower your past. I would lay low. Your past is coming for you. The streets are talking. Love you. And it says paid in full. Share a picture of your car, baby boo. My God. Then Janelle obviously replies, says, you want to know why I was so over the show? Because they had me on here with prostitute. More than one. And pseudo pimps that work at DoorDash. And don't let me get started with the men. Multiple that are not sure what their sexual rotation is, but actually they do. Boyfriends and all. You want to play with me? You're not going to like how I play. Now, baby, when you start coming for the men, I don't know if it's going to help you, baby. I'm also going to help you. Now, Janelle's a person that will out you when you're beefing and tell you about the things that she did for you when you guys were good. She says, what pisses me off about these ridiculous ass, low self-esteem ass women is I was nice to them, all of them. The Dusty had no clothes and I offered to let her borrow things from my collection. Oh, crap. So this Dusty had no clothes and offered to let her borrow things from my collection so she wouldn't look like the ragamuffin she did. Run, tell that island doll. And then obviously some message she put here gives a message of the dresses, and then she says, honey, that is fire. I love it. And then Janelle goes on to say, but I have samples from the runway show. Here's a link. It says, oh my gosh, thank you. Okay. Yeah. So to be honest, it's looking a bit heavy right now. Because look, these kind of messages, it's a madness, bro. It's a madness. It need not have these situations going on the way it's going on. Okay. All right. I like it's just for me, it's just it's like we grown now, guys. We need to stop. You know, y'all needed this to stop, man. Like you're too old for this stuff now, right? Do you know what I mean? You're too old for this stuff. And so, honestly, I'll be honest with you. I personally just think that these two need to hug it out and love it up. But now, all jokes aside, if you tell someone to pull up, you better pull up. Pull up. You know what I mean? And if they pull up, you can't run away. You know what I mean? I don't know why Janelle would. I don't know why Kat would fit in Janelle's clothing either. They look like two different sizes personally. So I don't know. You know what I mean? I don't know. Yeah, I saw there's a message where Kat was asking for some clothes. I don't know if she asked for clothes or whether it was a conversation. Let me just have the look and get the text. No, what it was a picture of it was a picture of two dresses, and then Janelle was saying this would be cute on you, and then obviously he's saying, "Honey, that is fire. I love it." And then Janelle puts, "I also have the samples on the runway show. Here's a link," and she goes, "Oh my gosh, thank you." So Kat never asked her. It didn't look like Kat asked her. I think it was that they were having a conversation. It gets brought up, and that was from. Obviously from Janelle's situation. So yeah, personally, look, man, I'm gonna just say, listen, look, we had 1,020 people in this room. Look, no one should pull up on anybody, man. We're too old to be pulling up. But if you do ask someone to pull up, they could pull up. You know, I'll be honest with you. I think Janelle has to take some accountability. I've seen some behavior which I believe is unaccountable, and she's not the only one. I'm sure there's others too, right? But her and Tequila ain't no different. You know, her and her and who's telling me to pull up? Listen, don't tell me to pull up. I'm in DC right now. Don't tell me to pull up. I'll pull up. Don't tell me to pull up, Chrissy. Now I'll pull up. Don't tell me to pull up now. I've been known to pull up. Don't ask me to pull up because I will pull up. But I'm in DC right now. Don't play with me. Yeah, we don't know what Kat did to for her, but all I know is that they were cussing each other. That's it. That's it. Literally, and all of this because of the show. Now, Felicia, don't ask me to. Felicia, don't let me pull up, Felicia. Don't let me pull up. Y'all playing with me. I'll pull up. You know, Sandra said I didn't pull up in Georgia. I'm at the capital right now, guys. I'm in the capital of DC. I'm in the capital of DC. So, you know, but yeah, no, yeah. So for me, I think I'm sure we're going to see a lot more issues between Kat and Janelle as the show goes on. I will keep you posted. I need to do a Habibi situation too. I'll probably do a live tomorrow on the Habibi situation. Here's my quick thoughts on Habibi. Okay, my quick thoughts on Habibi. You know. Oh no, I'm at Capitol. I mean, that's what I meant. I'm at Capitol. That's in DC. I'm at Capitol. So I don't know how you say it. I'm literally by the Capitol, literally. Yeah, but no. Literally, I want to say this about Habib. From what I saw when I watched him on the live with Crystal, if you're playing a persona, the persona failed because we didn't get no idea. You know what I mean? You know, I think the issue that I'm seeing with Habib is the fact that for him, the issue I see with Habib is that he is a big problem. He's created a persona, but the persona I don't think it's really a persona. I think it's him, and I think it almost gave me spec. I'm not gonna lie to you. It felt like it was on spec. You know what I mean? You know, so it feels like it's a spec. He's on the spec because the way he's addressing certain things, I was getting a little bit odd. Now I'm not going to give him any free pass for what he did, but it wasn't red. It was, you know, it wasn't. It wasn't. It wasn't. It wasn't. Something wasn't quite right. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Someone said not. It was unstable. That's how it felt. It felt unstable. And that's what it was given. It was given unstable, if I'm honest with you. So I wasn't really with it. You know what I mean? But I'll give some more insights tomorrow. It's been a late night. I know you guys are with me till 12, so I appreciate it. But yeah, the Habib, I don't know what was going on. I don't know what they agreed on before. So I'm not sure what they agreed upon beforehand. But whatever they agreed upon, Crystal and Habib, I don't know. It seemed like he wanted to be able to do. It seemed like he wanted to be able to control the narrative. So yeah, I can see that Crystal was not impressed at all, and I felt for her too. You know, so yeah, like it was political, man. It was just, and he was all over the place. He was bounced up and down. He had the person in the background that he was relating to. I was just like, okay, there's a lot going on right now, like that I'm not really feeling at the moment. A lot going on. And so yeah, I feel like there may be he may be on the spec, just saying. He may be on the spec, just saying. You know what I mean? Like, you know, yeah. So yeah, for me personally, I was like, yeah, I didn't like it. You know, I wasn't on it. Wasn't a vibe. Wasn't working for me. Yeah, that ain't it. That's what I can say. That ain't it. You know. But yeah, listen, I'm done now. So guys, we've done 2.5 hours. We're tired. We done what we can, y'all. We've done all we can do. Okay. Yeah, AAB. Honestly, you know, you know, there's some mad things. God of Architects, DM me in it. God of Architect, DM me, bro. DM me. I'm ready for the reunion. I think we're all ready for the reunion, bro. You know what I mean? I think we're all ready for the reunion. Sure. But listen, we're gonna be in Houston on Friday, guys. Just let you know, it's my final bit. I'm gonna be in Houston on Friday. From Friday, if you're in Houston in the area, if you're Dallas area, come to Houston. We gonna vibe it up. We're gonna be around in Houston. Myself, Jay, Sean, Seaway. I know Phil and Tyrone. And a few other cast members are going to be coming out for Houston. So if you're in the Houston area, Friday to Sunday, we gonna be out there. And I'm in DC to the Friday, so I'm in DC till Friday. Yeah, DC till Friday. All right, guys, I'm gonna love you, leave you. I appreciate you. It's been fun. I'm gonna be staying by Memorial Park, so on Friday. So I'll be staying at Memorial Park. Me and Sean. We'll be staying in those areas as well. Jay will be out. Stacy B will be out. The Ready to Love gang of Houston are going to be out. So if you're in Houston, yeah. Someone said, "Are you going to meet up with Simone Rashid?" I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. You know what I mean? I have to wait and see. So, but if you're out and about, let me know because we're gonna be out and about. You know what I mean? We're gonna be out and about. I told them, listen, I don't want to hear nothing else but Afrobeats, but they want to lie to me. Okay. Yeah. So. Oh my god, guys, it's time to go, man. You know what I mean? We're getting tired. Let's put this on there and say this, guys. Okay, because y'all know.
I'm leaving here with something. You know what I mean? I'm from around the way. I'm leaving with something.
All right, guys. Love and appreciation. We'll see you again very, very soon. Much love. Ooh, da da do.